Good morning. It is, God, I hate, it's Sunday, February 21st. Yes, I hate mornings when I wake up late. At least I got the coffee started and got back on here. Got a couple of messages answered before I went in and got the coffee. So I started late, and yes, I freely admit it. Okay. And 47 Yorktown was first at 4:29. Greetings from Eastern Canada. Resolute Germ said hello. Just about the time the show was ready to start. And then I had to go get coffee. And Kapla Burn Prey 5. Of course, I sent my message. And yes, I freely admit I'm late. And hello, Yitz and Lemons. What's going on? Now, let me go ahead and get the link into the chat. And I already have somebody ready to join. Of course, they were here before the show started, so. Hello, Resolute Germ.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning. What's going on?
Not much.
Well, the I put something in the group about listening this morning. I am actually going to be covering this more than once, so therefore I don't feel. So the only thing I don't like about the being on Twitch is you have idiots over there who they're bots, obviously. Um, I know you can see it backstage, but yeah, let's see here. Become famous by followers. Uh, Prime streams and viewers. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see. No.
Yeah, it's a big problem on everything off of YouTube. I know D Live has a similar problem sometimes.
I'm not surprised at all. But no, I started to say I had a conversation yesterday with I can't think of the name now. TWTG content. And I actually sat down and talked, got a couple of things. Uh, well, let's put it this way. For the past little while, I've been stressing over things and kind of, kind of pissed people off because I was wanting to stop doing this or felt it was not important. And I came to realize, well, I'm wrong. And I'm not too humble to admit it. Of course, I've also had people talking in my ear, telling me things that they thought. And some of it positive, some of it well meaning, but it was having a negative effect. So at this point, I'm just going to simply say when somebody gives me some advice that I cannot handle, thank you. I will consider it and drop it there. Which is something similar to what Bird also said. So I'm going to give credit there as well. So, if you've been missing these live streams because of that attitude, come on back. You'll be fine. We're not going anywhere. And of course, who shows up in content? TWTG content. Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you for last night. It was nice to actually talk to somebody. And that's the thing. It's one thing when you're actually, uh, when you're sending messages, and it's a totally different thing when you're actually going to talk to somebody. And no, I'm not ignoring you, NB Geek. I'm just going to bring you up in just a few minutes. And I know it's not morning for you, TWTG content. It is close to your bedtime. It's what, 9 p.m., I think? Like 5 a.m. here. So, yeah. I don't have Australia time memorized just yet. And Keely Chow. Hey, everybody, good morning. And good morning, Keely Chow. Right. And I've already got a back room with people waiting for me. Which is funny because normally I'm going, okay, what the hell do I talk about? Until somebody shows up. Today I have something to talk about. People show up. Yeah.
Yeah, the special announcement's going to draw people out.
No, I am going to have some different shows that I'm going. Again, I've not worked out the time frame. I am thinking Mondays, particularly. Those are the hardest streams for me. Monday will be more abbreviated, and I will have unless of course it's a special occasion, somebody shows up. I mean, if I can't think, I'm so bad with names right now. Of course, I just woke up not too long ago. But if Doom's wife, Paula, that's her name, shows up, then it will go longer. Anyhow, and yeah, you said that last night. You said that last night. Trust me, I will believe you. Okay. If she showed up, yeah, it'll go longer too. Now I'm going to add people based on importance. Good morning, Nina.
Good morning, Captain Trek.
Hey, Nina.
Good morning, result.
Resolute Germ. And
Yeah,
good
there
morning,
you go.
NB Geek.
Hey, bud. Morning. Well, I
I
won't
know.
be here very.
You got to go get coffee. No big deal.
Oh my God! I went in to go I filled up the coffee pot and everything. I'm like, there's no coffee.
Hmm.
Like there's no coffee. No, it's worse than that. There's a little bit of coffee, but not enough to make a pot. So I'm gonna heat up my truck, run up to the gas station, and get me a cup of coffee in a few minutes.
If I were you, I would get a cup of coffee and a can of the overpriced coffee if they have there. Just at least have coffee there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Just so my wife can have some coffee in the morning when she wakes up in a few hours.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're going to be in a world of trouble. You and happen to got coffee? And didn't get anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be about the sum of it. Although I did, well, one good thing I got this morning, I did check my email. I did get all my closing papers, all 88 freaking pages.
Well,
At least you get making progress.
Well, that's true.
That is true. So print those out, take them up to the notary on Monday, and then after that is a bunch of packing stuff. So don't be surprised if I'm spotty in and out throughout the rest of the next few weeks.
Not a problem. Kind of already had figured that with everything going on. And Bird will be back. He needs to reboot. Yeah.
No, that's always fun. Well, I almost completely got caught up on WandaVision yesterday.
I am not even going to bother trying until it's over. I've already decided that.
Isn't there only one more episode left? I thought it was. Is it an 8-part?
9.
I don't know. I'll have to check. I know it's on episode. I was on episode 7 when I started from the beginning because I was like, I only saw the first 2 episodes, and I was like, I don't even remember what the hell. I was like, I don't even remember what the hell happened.
And that's one thing I remember from the beginning. 9 episodes.
Oh, yeah. 9. Okay.
So as soon as the 9th episode is over, I will go ahead and binge watch them all. I hope.
Shouldn't be too hard. They're only about. They say they're like 35, 40 minutes long, but believe it or not, there's a shit ton of credits in these things.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes of credits.
7 minutes of credits. I've seen movies with less credits than that.
That should be illegal.
Yeah, if I go and check, let's see. Yeah, literally the commercials are literally the credits start for episode 7 at 30 minutes and 2 seconds, and there's still 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. And it's, well, I guess maybe there's like some little screenshots in between here and there, those mid-credit, but still. Yeah, I'm not watching 7 minutes of credits.
There's nothing really serious in those credits, just like flashes.
Yeah.
Nothing inherent to the story or anything like that.
Mm. Yeah, I just thought that was weird. That's
Thank you, Yvette, for making clear that there's 2 more episodes. Yeah.
All right.
So.
Well, like I said, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Go get coffee.
I'm gonna go get my coffee. Well, actually, I gotta scrape the snow off. I gotta scrape the frost off my vehicle.
Yeah. Take care, and see you when you get back. All right. Let's see here.
TWTG, don't put that out there. He'll hear about it and he won't shut up about it.
No. Now, we don't know. We don't know that yet. I've heard things he said, and we don't have absolute confirmation of that until after the 9th episode airs. After that, if he's correct, go for it. And you can even ask Bird his recommendations for my intro section were kind of a off the wall. And but that was something I talked to him about when we talked last night for me, uh, yesterday or this morning for him. Because a lot of the ideas that he had were clickbaity for me. Because I don't talk about WandaVision. I don't talk about the other stuff. I mean, it comes up in the conversations, of course, but that's not a primary focus that we're on. So, somebody who's looking for a WandaVision review or a WandaVision discussion is not going to necessarily find what they're looking for. And using a term like that without being clear what it's about is clickbait to me. Okay.
No. We're going to find a loophole, and LDG will not be right.
Well, in this case, I hope he is. I really, really do. Because there are so many people that have been very vocal about how he's wrong, blah, blah, blah. This is one time I'll give him, if he's right, I'll even say he's right. But that's just once, and then I'll be on him like, normal. I'm not gonna be too nice.
Yet the inflation to his ego will remain forever.
Trust me, he's not the only one on YouTube with an ego.
That's for sure.
And yes, he gets a lemons. As you say, LG usually twists it so he is right. Well, I think in some ways we all do. Although he is a little more direct about it, more vocal. And how are you this afternoon, Yitza? So what's going on, Nino?
Oh, nothing much.
Where are you at now?
I'm still at the apartment.
Ah, okay. Well, at least you're at a place you could hit Bill if you needed to. That's fine.
Yes. Yep. I can definitely hit him
Good to hear.
with the 2x4.
That's good. He can use it every once in a while.
So, what is going on today, Resolute Germ? I know you didn't have the Saturday cartoons because of conflicts. So,
Yeah, I should be able to do the Orville today after Bird's Futurama stream.
good to hear. Wait a minute. Maddie's thumbnail got removed for inappropriate sexual content. What? Okay, I didn't get a chance to watch that video. God damn it!
What, they removed that? I saw the
Check here.
thumbnail for that when it was coming in.
Let's see here now. Before was it been? It's been a while, so I'm gonna have to scroll back for hours. Okay, I've got a new subscriber. I know what I see karaoke from last night. It's like, yeah, I'm not going back far enough. See, this is why you need a distinct, what do you call it? Avatar. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that helps.
Yes, it does. Of course, I'm scrolling back. I'm seeing other stuff. Go. For fuck's sake, come on. Really?
I'm seeing one is. I'm wondering if this is a repost. If he reposted it.
That's possible. Maybe he did, because I'm not seeing anything at all. How long ago was it?
That was posted yesterday. That's the only information it's telling me about it.
Okay, because normally it will have like X number of hours ago. Because I'm like at 16 hours ago. That's the wonderful part about. I didn't know. Okay. Let's see. Oh well. I give up. I'm at 17 hours.
Yeah, I just had to search Yitsy's name directly to find the channel.
Okay.
And found her on his channel.
There we go. That's a lot easier. Okay. I
don't know
what obviously YouTube... edited.
Yeah.
Come on.
The little
really?
Skulls.
That's covering. Not like.
Yeah, that's solidly PG-13. Well, that probably isn't even PG-13. That's
PG.
They rated Little Mermaid PG. That's nothing worse than within Little Mermaid.
The only difference is they're skulls rather than seashells. I'm just sitting here watching it play. By the way, excellent job on these videos, Yitsa.
Yeah.
So a cat. He was just out. He came back in. Now he says he wants out. He doesn't want out. He's not going out.
That's why you don't listen.
Yeah, cats can be jackasses like that.
Of course. They're cats. I've had cats. Correct. There is no way. Anybody who says they own a cat is a liar. Because
Mhm.
cats own you. You do not own them.
That's correct. They tell you when they're hungry.
They tell you when you're hungry. They tell you when you're hungry because they want to eat your food.
Uh-huh. We have
And
a
yes,
parrot cat.
I've had the cat tell me when it was time for me to go eat.
Mm.
So, and let's see here. I had accidentally left my own stream in order to watch Yitz's video, which, by the way, looks amazing. And I'm only 3 minutes into it of a 10-minute video.
Stop.
Wow.
I'm silly cat. Got a chair. They all want to scratch on the chair. It's not right. No,
Of course, Bird of Praises. When you mouse over the thumbnail, YouTube plays the wrong part of the video. Yeah. It's not like they're showing nipples. They're covered. The boobs are covered. And Yvette says she is her cat's slave.
Hmm.
And
That's not right. That's why I'm
okay, let's go
snarkily
back.
in the dog camp.
Let's see, going up. Yeah, just boobies. That's it. Just boobies. And of course, Yosef is being a smartass.
He is he?
Oh, yes. More, Moahr, cats, Katz, for
Hmm.
Yosef. So he's joining in on that more cats for Yosef kick.
We love our babies.
Don't you already have enough bosses in that house, Joseph? I mean, you got your wife. You already got a handful of animals. That
Wife, 4
yeah.
cats, 2 dogs. I can't think of what else.
So he's already
I,
number 8 in that house. Why does he want to
correct.
go lower?
Well, it's not him that wants to go lower. It was everybody else who joined in on it, and then he didn't say no. Anyway, it says Yosef needs more cats. So what's going on, Yosef? Yosef wants more cats, not cats. But still, what are cats? Just like you went. Never mind, I won't go there, Bird. I won't go there. I
Yep.
could not believe when I checked Twitter last night. Oh, Bird says it's the last name. Okay.
Hey, sure, Bird. Yeah, it has nothing to do with a certain cat house down in the Nevada area.
And Joseph says, I'm at the bottom of the food chain anyway. Well, see, where I am from, cats also used to be a pharmacy. So, in fact, for years, you could still see there was another store that opened up that used their merchandise. So they would have a special section that was marked for that store. So it's kind of like the store still survived for a few more years. Well, it didn't. And Yvette is confused. By the way, what are you doing, Yvette? I know it's probably lunchtime where you're at. I don't know where you're at exactly. So I know it's afternoon for Joseph. So
I think she's in the UK, isn't she?
I've had one cup of coffee, and so my brain does not remember where everybody's at immediately. I know where general area. I know where whatever Nina is in Nevada or Arizona. Excuse me, Arizona. You're in Washington somewhere, and I don't know about NBD, Illinois or someplace. Carolina. I don't know where the hell he's at. Anyhow, in the process of moving. Bert is in New York. Anyone who doesn't know he's in New York, yeah,
Yeah, you just haven't heard him talk before.
exactly. Well, except he doesn't talk like a New Yorker. He can't even fake a New York accent. Joseph, of course, is in Slovakia. But right now, that's about all I remember. Oh, Yitz is someplace over in Europe, but that's about it. I couldn't tell you the country offhand. I should know, but I don't know.
I think Sweden.
It's in Blackpool, UK. And it is 11:35 a.m. So you are in London time. So it is morning. And yes, you've got coffee. Now, where's the coffee that you're going to be making? Did you bring that? A little container.
That coffee is in the kitchen currently brewing. That coffee is in the kitchen currently brewing.
Good. Otherwise, you'd be hit hard, and deservedly so.
Oh no, the worst part was I get up there, get the cup of coffee. It's fucking cold.
It is, and how cold is it?
It was cold enough that I put it in the microwave for a minute when I got home. I'm just like, oh, screw this. I'll just microwave it when I get home.
Yep.
Oh, there was one time I went to gas station and got coffee, and it was cold. And I said, okay, I'll pay for the cup, but I'm not paying full price for your coffee. He's like, then just leave it. I said, okay. I started to walk off. He's like, where are you going? I left it. Exactly what you said. So anyhow, I ended up getting it for like a quarter.
There you go. Well, did they at least have a microwave you could heat it up in?
No,
Yeah.
I mean they had one of those little microwave things, but it's one of those you push a button for sandwich or whatever product. Yeah. So it's like, no.
No, Mike, I am not Jewish. I do have a lot of family that are Jewish, though.
And
my sister and her husband are actually Messianic Jews.
let's see here. reheating coffee releases a ton of bitterness. Well, that's somewhat true. Actually, it only whatever. This is too early for me to be technical. Bird will be back again. Where the hell are you going, Bird?
My son had
I
bought
bet it's
this
not
lemonade.
far.
My son had bought this lemonade the other day, and woo! Now that's what I call lemonade, the kind that makes your cheeks pucker.
Uh,
That's my kind of lemonade.
Oh, I like microwaves. Sorry.
Oh boy. By this time next week, it should be at least. We should be at least. Probably in the house by. Yeah, we should already be at least one day in. Probably Sunday. I'll probably have to do some like grocery running because we did pack a box of toiletries and kitchen items that we're gonna need.
Oh yeah, that's one thing you learn if you've moved more than once.
Oh yeah.
What you need to pack away and what you need to pack but keep close by.
Oh God, we got another one of these idiots who actually believes in the migration of the Dixie Crew. Ah! What a joke. I'm not even going to entertain that today.
And just another red shirt. Good morning. I will go ahead and put the link back in. I'm surprised you're awake.
Yeah,
I heard
noticed
you
it seems to
talking.
how can certain things disappear?
Like what?
Oh, I've just noticed sometimes you'll have the link in and then you'll go through and I don't know if links have an expiration time on them or something because I'll notice sometimes you come back later and they're gone.
Yeah, I don't know because I've seen that myself where all of a sudden it was gone. Like what the hell? I'm the only one who should be able to remove it unless it's inappropriate. Because only the mods cannot approve. I mean, they cannot remove my comments. Only
No, of
YouTube
course not.
can, unless I remove it. Let's see here now. That's more like Atlantic City of the. Ah ha ha! Just another red shirt. More like Atlantic City of the UK. Yeah, I like that. And hey, Cap. Hey, just another red shirt. I did go ahead and put the link in. Hello, Michael. What's going on? Just okay, Michael. Random curiosity question for vet. I know they're not Americans, but city in your country is your country's version of Monopoly based on. Ooh, I like that question. And oh, you're kidding me! God damn it! Now I am going to remove it. Remove. And yeah, I posted the StreamYard link before. That one was done. I'd sent the YouTube link to somebody else, so I ended up having that one be the one that was sent out. Oopsie. All right. God damn it. Let's see here. And just as soon as I click over to the YouTube page, just to make sure think was up to date because somebody popped in. Ha ha ha. And we've got just another red shirt. What's going on today?
No, I don't know yet. I haven't been to sleep.
Why does that not surprise me?
Oh, you know that. I only come on your 5 a.m. streams when I have been up all night.
Oh, yeah. It was funny. I had I'd gotten on LDG's backstage. The funny thing is, I'll just go ahead and mute myself because I know I'm going to fall asleep eventually.
I saw you there, and I'm like, I don't know. Is he asleep or is he not doing his stream later today?
So if I'm muted there for over an hour, usually I'm either on another stream watching or I'm asleep. And it's like, but at least I'm like here. I'll be hearing voices, but it won't be like well, with the kids, they're screaming. They're not usually screaming voices on here, so a little more relaxing. So you're still awake, obviously. What has been going on with you?
Oh, just been we're recovering here from slowly from the weather and the power outages and all of the rest of the disaster.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I'm getting back. We're getting back to normal. So back to more or less my normal schedule, and seeing what's going to happen next. I don't know. I don't know what's going on today. I literally don't know. I know nothing scheduled. I don't see any alerts or notifications or anything, so I don't know what's going on there. I think I have something I'm going to wrench this evening around, I don't know, 5 something my time, but that's about it. How's everybody else's weekend been going? Come on.
That's a good question.
Hello, Rosetta.
Hello,
Hey,
Rosetta. What's going on?
can't sleep.
That's not a good thing.
Valhalla with Odin today, so you get to talk to him some. Which is always one of the highlights each month for me, so.
Good.
Sitting there going, it's middle of the night and I'm freaking medicated as hell right now, but I'm still smacking the dates down on Twitter because I'm bored.
Yeah.
Gotta do something with your time, right?
Oh, I would agree. Yeah, your own hobbies. That's a good thing.
Yeah, fuck, I'm having issues with my sound again on this thing. Almost every single time.
I don't know what's going on because obviously there was some echo before.
Which there shouldn't be because I'm on headphones.
I know.
I have weird issues with this thing for some reason when I change StreamYards to a new one. And it's always on this laptop, but that should make the sound a little clearer now.
Well,
Yeah,
let's see
sounds
here.
like it.
I don't hear an echo right now, so yeah. On that note, let's see here. Germ, You're in charge. I'm getting me some coffee. My
Right.
body is just saying coffee now.
Yeah, anyone else got anything going on today?
I was looking at what Aunt was saying in chat, and that doesn't really work with me because most of the stuff I have is art and craft supplies, and you switch which stuff you're doing all the time. So you'll have something on the wall in the shelves for months, years, but still use it in your projects when you get there.
Oh, yeah.
But as a general for most things in life, I'd say that's usually true.
Hey, Rosetta. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny when I replied back to yours from that whole George Takei, and I'm like, yeah, I know, facts are such a bitch.
Takai's the one who went in a public interview and basically admitted that he forced a guy into sex with him who was underage. If you ever find the interview, he literally sits there talking about pushing himself on the guy and stuff, and him being 17 at the time. I have no fucking use for him.
Nah, I just thought it was funny when I was reading that bill, and I was like, did you guys ever actually look at what it states?
Of course they didn't.
I got this idiot here telling me what it stated. I'm like, I looked at the bill. I'm actually kind of surprised it's called the John E. Lewis bill, considering the majority of it is dealing with tribal voting.
You gotta realize, these guys have no fucking intelligence. These are the people who seem to think that Jim Crow was a Republican. They have no concept of history or facts.
That's true.
Just like I'm getting this whole group telling me that side effect doesn't exist from that meta stuff. It's like, I went through it. What the fuck are you talking about, you idiot? Prove it. Are you demanding my medical records? That's actually kind of illegal.
Yeah, that kind of violates that little tiny HIPAA thing. You know, that's kind of a big deal when you fuck with HIPAA.
Yeah, just slightly. Tell me about it.
So I'm sitting there going, are you seriously saying... The whole thing is because I'm telling people that the hardcore pro and hardcore anti-vax are both fucking idiots. They are. Different vaccines have different levels of accuracy and how well they work, and different side effects. Some are really good, some are fucking trash. There's always going to be some people who have religious and physical reasons they can't do certain vaccines. That needs respected. This is just respect, you know?
Well, I have a friend who has MS. She can't take any vaccine. Why?
I am allergic to, yeah.
Why? Because if she takes anything, it'll kill her.
Yeah. I can't take vaccines. I'm allergic to almost every filler. And they basically said that the only issue with vaccine allergies is eggs. It's like, no. And actually, not all vaccines quit using eggs either. So that's still an issue for those who do have that issue. I have no issue with eggs. That has nothing to do with the reaction I had to them or my allergies to them.
They also have a, I can't remember the standard filler they have in there for it. That isn't the...
Besides mercury and fetal stem cells and other stuff, yeah. There's things that not all people can use. And the thing is, if either side would actually come in the center and be reasonable, we could work on hypoallergenic ones that don't have all these issues with some people. If either side was reasonable.
Yeah.
And so this is all how it started. Is that I made a comment that I can't take them, and you can't, and force has problems when you do mandates, because I did have a severe reaction as a kid. It's what caused my seizures, my infertility, and other issues. And because it was through IHS, when they destroyed all the tribal records, when they were getting audited by the government, that includes my medical. I can't prove it if they mandate it.
Nope.
So, that would kill me. And the point is, and then the comment is that, well, no vaccines cause infertility. Actually, read the diphtheria excerpt. It says right in it, side effects if you react to it include seizures, PCOS, infertility, nerve damage, spine damage. Want to read the insert? It's in the fucking stuff you get when you take the shot.
Every medication has rare side effects.
Everything. For fuck's sake, I'm allergic to aloe.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't like trusting going to the bathroom in other people's homes because I don't want to rub that in that place.
Yeah,
No.
that would be painful.
So, I mean, everything. There are people who are allergic to their own tears.
Yep.
There's nothing in the world that is safe from side effects to some people. Nothing. You always need people to have a physical right to decline something if they don't want to take that risk.
And that's all because the human body is 150 million parts, all built by the lowest bidder.
Basically,
Or you just got drunk one night.
Well, the other thing is, and I'm sorry, I don't care what has been done so far. Most vaccines have years of research. There has been less than 1 year of research.
And even
on
a
this
lot
vaccine.
of these, even a lot of these ones that have years of research and have been being used 20, 30 years, they're still finding new side effects that are occurring that they didn't know occur in the long term.
It's because of technological advancement.
Yes. The thing is, it happens. Yes, there are a lot of vaccines that are so much better than the alternative of what they prevent. There are. And if you can get those ones, do it. But there are vaccines that are not good, that cause serious issues. And there are ones that are not well tested, have not been on the market long, and they are being found to cause serious side effects. And I'm sorry, diphtheria is one that actually kind of irritates me because they mix it with other ones, so you can't avoid it half the time. It's one of the ones with the worst side effects, and the only reason we need it is because people won't be clean and wash their fucking hands. It's literally a disease spread because people aren't cleaning fecal matter off stuff.
And that's, well, see, that I remember back when you had several injections when you went to get immunized. You got an injection for this, an injection for that, an injection for that. Now they're doing it all in one. And it's like, I want proof that there isn't going to be some interaction between the medicines. That
It's also, okay, it's also toxic overload. You're not supposed to take too many meds at the same time. Ever. Even adults, even when you have to take a lot of meds because of all your medical stuff, they'll tell you how to space them, take different ones at different points of the day so you're not overloading your system. When you put too many meds in your body at the same time, it causes what's known as a toxic shock.
Yep.
Now you're doing that to babies. I'm all for spacing and doing the immunizations as they make the most sense at the proper age without overloading the system on the child.
Correct.
I'm sorry. It's safer that way. And there's science behind that.
Yes, there is.
So this is what irritates me. There's a common sense middle ground. There really is. But try to get people to find common sense in this society.
Hey, Rosetta.
Yeah?
So, when I was when I saw your response to that, I was like to George Takei, I was like, hey, let me take a look at this nice little bill. And I said, oh, okay, it's a bill mostly talking about Native American and tribal voting. I'm like, okay. So I point that out to people. I'm like, I'm a little confused on why it's called the John Lewis. And I kind of left it at that. Somebody got mad and they're like, this has nothing to do with Indian. That's somebody goes, oh, it was one bullet point. I was like, the word tribe is in there 9 times. The word tribe is in there 25 times. The word tribal is in there 9 times. It specifically is talking about Native American lands. So I'm like, please again, try to tell me.
And there are issues with voting rights on reservations and tribal lands. There are ways they suppress the vote there, but that has nothing to do with what they were claiming. And
exactly.
Their solutions don't fix it. Their solutions are why there's so much suppression now. The fucking IHS government system, the reservations, the Democrat laws are why there's so many restrictions against human rights on reservations now.
Well, I thought it was funny when they made that. Well, first they made that Jim Crow comparison, which is always ridiculous.
Democrat. I mean,
and
now,
then
keep in mind, not all Democrats are the same.
No, I'm not saying they are, and I hate both parties. But Jim Crow was a Democrat.
And I don't have much love for either party either. That's why I say I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I have an ideology. I don't bow myself to a political party. Never have, never will. I bow for one. I kneel for one person only, and that's Yahweh, and by extension, Christ. But I just thought it was interesting where they were talking about the filibuster, and then I see all these comments from people about how this is what they're going to say about it, and I was like, Would you like me to go back to 1954 Civil Rights Act and the filibuster for 24 hours by Thurman, the Democrat? Or would you like to talk about how there was a 75-day filibuster about the 1964 Civil Rights Act by the Democrats? It's like, but okay.
Let me go back to the chat real quick.
I would kill for people to actually study basic history.
That would be intelligent.
There's a reason. They don't.
No, this was something I put on my wife. Let's see if I can find it real quick. My wife started up a homeschool page. I did find something that kind of disturbed me on Twitter. This article that disturbed the hell out of me.
What were you going to say, Red Shirt?
I was going to say there is a reason that people today and for years, maybe even decades, haven't studied history. I was in school when history started to be supplanted by social studies.
Yep.
I thought you were about to say I was there when history was happening.
Oh, I was, but I don't like to brag. No, it's. I'm sorry, but I don't. People say that the educational system is broken. I don't think it's broken. I think it's working exactly as it's the people who are running it intend for it to work.
There is, if you look up the history of not what was traditional liberal, but the actual progressive movement. Look up what they were saying they were going to try to create in the 1800s. Everything has been intentional. It's been systematic. And there's a lot of people who've considered themselves progressive liberal and stuff who they don't fit in that realm. They have no idea the origination and the actual plan. But it's always was designed that way. It was always designed that way. It was to embed the system and change the culture to what they envisioned over time.
Correct.
So, and one of the biggest problems with public education, also, as you guys know, I'm a homeschool teacher now. Now, here's an article I found, and I had to read it because it really bothers me. And this was from the Daily Wire, and it says public school advocates attack charter private schools, compare them to terrorist training camps. And I'm like, okay, let me read it before I go ape shit on the headline. Yeah. So, writing in a retired teacher and former mentor at West Virginia, slam charter and private schools, comparing them to. Now, this is funny how they actually get away with saying this. They compare them to Islamic schools for wrench the terrorists who attacked 9/11 came from. Now, how is that? How are you able to say that and get away with it?
No. See, what's really ridiculous about that is the reason I oppose the school systems in general is because I have a problem with government being involved in education, because that is what breeds indoctrination. It's always been what breeds indoctrination, which is really funny that they're going to attack private schools trying to compare them to indoctrination camps when that's what government school is. In fact, there's a skit from the Frantics, I can't remember if it was late 80s, early 90s, where they actually talk about controlled thought zones and where you're allowed to think, and you're not allowed to have a unique thought in a school zone.
So this is what the person says, and I don't know what school they went to, but honestly, they drank some serious Kool-Aid here, because it says, citing the diversity of homeschooling kings and queens across America, Johnson posted, this speaks to the fact that our culture is not tribal. Yes, it is. This is not based on religious doctrine. The
Let's
American
not
high
use
school
tribal the way
ceremonies have
people
their
use it
roots.
modernly anyways.
Exactly. That's
I
not,
hate
This
the
is
way
what
they
they
use
say.
that word
American high
modern.
school ceremonies have their roots in Greek culture, not Judeo-Christian. Our American education system is based on reason. Now, this is the part that really cracks me up. In public schools where our children learn basic civil government, what a joke, science and history, bullshit. It is where they, this is the part that cracks me up. It is where they unlearn their prejudice and discrimination of their respective tribes. Did you go to school?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, right.
In charter
It's
schools,
basically where you go
That's where they
to
learn
the
prejudice.
fine art of prejudice.
Yeah.
this is let's see. In charter and private schools, in charter schools, a private board decides the curriculum. Same for private schools. One board might teach the earth is flat. Okay, that's so stupid to say. Another might teach that the Pope is infallible. Another might oh, Jesus Christ. Talk about and then we've seen this in some Middle East cultures. Private schools have been known to engage in religious and political indoctrination. Oh, you mean like the public education system right now?
Wait a minute. There are absolutely no assumptions being made about private and charter schools here.
Or religious people all being flat earthers who adore the Pope, even though that's only one specific sect of one specific religion.
He's talking about 60-year-old parochial schools as though all private and charter schools were that. I mean, come on.
Even most of those don't fit this nutcase description.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Precisely
Hey, let me ask you this,
my point.
Yeah, well, here's the thing where they go, oh, we're not tribal. Did you ever look at a seating arrangement in a cafeteria, buddy?
No. Wait. That is a modern use of the word tribal, and it's a fucking bullshit. Tribal just meant that you take care of your own within your group first, and then you branch out. I hate that they're fucking using it to describe people dividing themselves into camps, because that's not what it means.
The whole point they're saying is, and I mean, if you really read into it, what they're basically saying is charter schools, private schools, and in fact, homeschools are bad because we decide what is chosen to teach. We decide, if we like these schools or not. We're not hell-bent on having to go to them. And they produce, and also, let's be honest, a lot of times they do produce a better product out of an education system.
Okay, I will be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to switch to the other computer.
Go for it, Rosetta. Thank you.
Go for it.
And Bird, what's going on there? Is Mama Prey not awake? Joseph, what are you doing now?
Hey, hey, JP. It's just when I see, and I posted that because I said, this is, to me, it's a very scary thing to think that this is really how a lot of these education people and people in these areas, in these circles, really actually believe this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they hate the fact that, I'm sure they don't like the fact that one of my scheduled courses is we do a devotion. How long is devotion? It's about 20 minutes. That's it. We read a passage, and that's it. That's usually the last thing we do in our classes when we do it.
That would actually be illegal in this state.
Really?
Even for homeschoolers, you can't include religious doctrine, or you have to fit within an approved schedule and approved framework of classes that you teach.
Well, Well, thankfully here in South Carolina, we don't have that problem. And actually, I'm going to Indiana, and their homeschool laws are even more relaxed than what we have here. So my wife and I are like, we'll just stick with what we're doing here because it's working. If it's easier there, that means we just continue what we're doing now. But my curriculum is based on Monday through Friday, the 3 R's, and then we throw in world history, civics, science, religion, and stuff like that. But those are the things, and we keep track of all that stuff. But it's like if somebody ever wanted to question, well, how do we know you're really teaching history? It's like, would you like to see my logbook of everything I taught? Would you like to see my entire 7th grade or my entire 6th grade history lesson? Because it's pretty goddamn long. You guys have heard me talk about it. I worked on 45 years of history.
I
That's
thought
a
the
lot.
state was mandating you do all that.
No, these are things. No, this is what my wife and I chose to do.
Okay. Over
Yeah, we
here,
chose-
that sort of stuff is we want to see that to prove you're actually teaching your kid, or we're going to call CPS.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Trust
by
me,
the
I
way,
have mine.
let me just say, NB, bravo.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I've been self-taught in history since, 1980.
Nice.
And,
I how do I say this politely? You misspelled Troy, by the way, in your
Why don't you
post.
just say I fucked up spelling her name?
Okay, you fucked up spelling the name.
Okay.
I was trying to be nice.
This is me we're talking about. I'm not executive. Just because I'm a homeschool teacher, I keep saying my grammar's not the best. I'm working on it, but it's not the best.
IR word good.
Yeah, you should see some of my tweets. There's just random letters and words just popping up all over the place.
Nah, I was just annoyed at that because when I saw that comment by Maria Spritz, I thought of Londell and Professor and a couple others we know that live in Texas. I'm like, you bitch.
I'm sorry. I don't care what somebody's political standings are. This is not a situation that is involving politics. It's talking about people. And sorry, there were people who were affected who were of all political persuasions. It doesn't. The snow doesn't care.
Yeah, the snow does not care if you voted for Trump, Biden, or one of the other parties, or you just didn't vote at all.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't think the snow's really that. I don't think the snow can be that picky.
No. And the situation with the electrical grid in Texas has been created by a very bipartisan series of decisions on what to focus on and what to not prioritize. And
Correct.
They all came together in a literal perfect storm where, Texas's electrical grid is geared towards 110-degree temperatures in July or August, not cold temperatures in February. So they had an electrical grid that was designed to be resilient when it was hot, not when it was freezing cold.
And they probably did. Well, hopefully they did some research and found that it was an unlikely thing. That's probably why they played that way. When I created I created a disaster plan for my unit in California where we lived. We had all these disasters, and I'm like, okay, we need to really, really focus on what is most likely going to happen here where we live in Texas or where we live in California. I said, we live on the West Coast. So we might as well take hurricane out. Because we're not getting a fucking hurricane over here. They're like, what about typhoon? I'm like, typhoon is set in a different category. So it was like fires, earthquakes, possible typhoon, possible flooding was another one because during our time of the year, during December to March, we would get heavy rainfall.
Mhm.
So you base your disaster plan on the most likely contingencies, and then you put some of the other ones into smaller ones, and some you don't really plan for. Unfortunately, sometimes that does come back to bite you in the ass. Oh, Joseph, I think that tweet pissed off a lot of people.
It did. What fucking kills me is you go to her feed, and she's got
where
like
she
50
tried to back.
no, not just the back down. Let me explain this one. She's got like 50 fucking tweets defending that, attacking people's politics, saying they deserve it, shit like that. And then right below that, you have her claiming she's a Christian and she likes the story of the Good Samaritan.
Horse shit, she's a Christian.
And horse shit, she likes
Yeah.
the Good Samaritan. She'd be the one kicking him, saying you deserve this for your beliefs.
No kidding.
Yep.
Why are we giving this bitch airplay?
Fucking hypocrisy.
Hey, can she just move back to England?
I agree. Well, see,
I don't think they'll take her.
None of my British friends want her to come back. They want her to all fuck off.
I like what Mr. Lundell said.
My channel assistant is British. A lot of my people that come on my channel are British. About half of my followers are British. None of them want her either.
Can anybody send her Dominic Frisbee's epic song about Brexit, 17 million fuck offs?
Oh, I like how she said, I didn't say I wanted anyone to die. It's like, no, you just basically
you said they get what they're deserving about families in need. I have a niece fucking down there with no power in the cold. Fuck you, bitch. That child deserves nothing because you don't like somebody else's politics.
Oh, Piano Dean did bring up a good point. Yes, she
did.
did. I saw that tweet. When Kirstie Alley tweeted she voted for Trump, Maria Spitz responded, "You are dead to me." And yes, I saw that tweet.
Marina Sirtis hasn't watched an episode of Cheers a day in her life.
Probably not.
I'm certain of that.
I doubt she even knows what Luku's talking
watched
is.
any Next Generation in her life.
Dude, the only reason she even probably knows who Kirstie Alley is because they were at a convention together once.
Yeah.
Or they know she starred in Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
That's about all they know of. That's about all she probably knows. She probably has no idea she was in Look Who's Talking, one of the greatest comedies of all time.
How many fucking people? Fucking people in this stupid cast from Next Gen don't even fucking get the point of the show they starred in. They don't get that this is about different cultures, different viewpoints, different religions, different social and economic structures, all getting along. That's the fucking point.
Actually, one of the best points of diversity came up when you had conflict, if you think about it, was a lot of times with Worf's dealing with his cultural beliefs versus the Federation's values.
It was
those did come into conflict.
It was a battle
those came
of
into
showing
conflict
how to show your struggles. You have different cultures. You have to work to adapt and understand and find common ground. But there was a point there. It was about learning to accept each other.
Yes. And remember, when Picard wrote that reprimand after he killed Duras, he's like, you did act within Klingon law, but you are also a Starfleet officer. And, he's kind of giving him a little bit of a teardown, reminding him that he's going to have to figure out, he's going to have to learn to balance that shit. He can't just be, full Klingon Empire one day and then Starfleet at the same time. He has to figure out how to balance it. And that was one thing Picard really tried to help him with throughout the time, and I think a lot of others did, was he has that natural instinct as a Klingon to be a
Picard
Klingon.
Had a unique perspective on that because he acted as the arbiter.
Yes, he did. Exactly. Picard had a unique... Picard, back in TNG, if we really think about it, he was one, and I think it's because maybe it had his backdrop to do with his love of archaeology, not just human archaeology, but archaeology in general of different cultures. He was always the archaeologist. He was the guy who he was the embodiment of embracing different ideas and cultures. But he also knew where his ideals and cultures were in the value of Starfleet and the Federation. but he understood how to work with people who were not part of that. Worf being, honestly, Worf was not he might have been a Federation citizen because he was adopted, but he was a Klingon.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, to circle this back to Marina Sirtis, has anybody else read the book Get a Life by
Shatner?
Yes, thank you. By William Shatner. Now, Shatner in the book goes through a journey where he starts out admitting when he first played Kirk, and this is the 60s series and into the movies in the late 70s, early 80s. This was a job. It was purely a role. He played it. His agent would call him. He'd go in. Okay, yep, what are we doing? Here's the script. Okay, great. I learned my lines. It was purely a role for him, and he just could not understand the fandom that would go to conventions. He just thought they were ridiculous. And he actually, the title of the book, obviously, is from his Saturday Night Live hosting stint back in the 70s, where they're pretending that he's at a Star Trek convention, and finally he yells at everybody who's the fans. He goes, "Get a life!" And it really didn't go over well with Star Trek fans. But he decided after a while that, he was starting to appreciate that this was it was a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just a role for him to play. It wasn't just another character like being in TJ Hooker, right? Which comes, it goes, and nobody remembers it after that. And he started going to conventions, and he writes this whole book about how he came to realize that Star Trek wasn't just a TV show. It wasn't just a series of movies. It had affected people on a personal level, and he got that. Now,
look at what happened with Nimoy and the "I am not Spock, I am Spock," where he had that revelation.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Exactly. What I would argue is that for most of the cast of TNG, whether they should have or could have by now, they have never made that journey. Certainly Sir Patrick Stewart never has.
In fact, I think a lot of that cast has gotten worse socially and politically than they were back then.
Yes.
Based on what they used to say and do and what they're saying and doing now, they're getting worse.
Yep.
For fuck's sake, I lost my first Twitter account because of standing up against Gates McFadden, and now I'm fighting with Sirtis. So let's see how all this goes.
What were you fighting with McFadden about?
Because she was out there touting the BLM stuff, that if you're white, you're racist, and I pointed out that she's white, and then she started all this stuff about how police are always evil and you don't need police and stuff. I said, that's really easy for you to say from your armed security ivory tower, isn't it? About that time, she had a tweet basically openly saying that she was using her money to influence the state elections in Montana, South Dakota, and Tennessee, the 3 states with the highest Native population. So I said that you're using your rich, white, elitist money to suppress Native voices, and about that time, I started getting flagged by her and her fans.
Damn, girl, you got game.
I wasn't wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
You weren't wrong.
So
that's the best part about it. That's why you got banned, because you weren't wrong.
See, I've only been blocked by Pablo
and because you, Rosetta, you are not their type of strong woman. You see, you stand your ground and you don't bend, and they don't like you. See, they want strong women.
Damn it. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They only want strong women, it seems, who toe a certain line, belief, whatever. But if you're against those beliefs, then obviously what's going on, Rosetta, is anytime you say something like that, the moment they find out you're married, they're going to assume it's your husband oppressing you. Which anybody who knows Rosetta knows that's a total line of shit.
Well...
No, there's a difference between open submission and oppression here, Michael. You know that.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
My husband
I'm
would do
capable of
nothing
seeing
with me that I
nuance.
wasn't
These
capable.
assholes aren't.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Well, I think at the end of the day, Oh, sorry, Rosetta.
No, I was just saying, and that's the thing with what he just said. Go ahead.
Well, I think that when it comes down to it, some of them really do. I think that Shatner and Nimoy eventually understood. I think they were a little annoyed, and I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway. This was very early on in Star Trek. We're talking 70s, early 80s. We're talking before TNG and the wave of Star Trek we got. So might have been a little annoying at their time being typecast like that. But, yeah, maybe they finally went to the convention, saw the warm embrace, and, maybe they realized that this isn't just a show to us. There's something in it that is very special, and they were a part of it. And they got to be a part of something that was very special to us. And I think some of them understand it.
They
See,
did.
I will
Go ahead,
give-
Joe.
A lot more of them, I think, understand it and give credit for it. I know Khan, Dorn, and Spiner all seem to get it, so they stay out of the fray for political stuff for the most part.
Spiner has not been staying out of it lately.
Not really.
He's
I
not
think
as
Spiner-
I will give one person credit, even though I think his politics are batshit and stuff. One of the ones that actually told people not to attack me when I criticized one of his viewpoints on his wall was actually Wheaton.
Well, that's rare.
Yeah.
The thing is, actually, he is a bit of an ass in how he states things, but he doesn't actually flag people or try to silence the other side either, and that I'm okay with.
Yeah, just
Yep.
don't. Yeah, but just don't tweet "Shut up, Wesley" at him. Apparently,
Yeah,
that's the
fair,
fastest way to get blocked.
Okay, I don't mind
he has
people.
a
I honestly
thing
don't
about
care if
that.
people block each other, so that's one thing I've never really cared about. And to be fair, that's why half of my friends got blocked by Gates is when she started doing that. They started tweeting "Shut up, Beverly" at her.
Well, to give,
Yeah, if I like
and
your-
by the way, finally, to give Shatner his due, he finishes his story about his journey through this, going to a convention, speaking to a room absolutely packed to the rafters with Star Trek fans, and he finally said, "You guys may not know this, but I've been attending conventions for some time now in disguise." And I think there's probably a few chuckles in the audience because who wouldn't recognize that voice, even if it came out of a rubber alien mask? And he said, "I'm writing a book about it, and about my coming to an understanding of the fandom and of the people who've loved Star Trek all of these years. But I'm having one problem. Maybe I can get your help with it." He says, "I'm looking for a title. What should I title the book?" And he said, almost with one voice, the entire room shouted back at him, "Get a life!" And that was the forgiveness right there.
No, see, and that's the thing is, again, I have, I can't, I understand why some people hate Wheaton. There's two things I give him credit for. A, he doesn't actually flag people. B, he actually adopted the kids of the woman he married, not just took them in and treated them and stuff. He adopted them, took care of them and stuff. I give credit to anybody who's a stand-up guy in the family.
I know someone who's done that
So,
personally. Yes, that is a big commitment.
I give people credit when they're stand-up in the home, even if I think they're complete and utter fuck-ups and assholes. So I still criticize him. I still mock his tweets and stuff, but I do give him credit for that.
Well, another one who's been kind of staying out of it that I've been admiring for doing so is LeVar Burton.
He's always been a bit on the left, but he's always tried to stay out of it because he wants to focus children to be able to watch his stuff and not get pulled into the political, like Reading Rainbow.
Yeah,
So
he
wants people to
realizes
educate.
who his audience is.
Exactly.
I think that I think if you look at LeVar Burton, he's probably what I would call more center left, but he's got to remember he's got people who, he can't just go like some of these other ones and start trashing people because he's got a good enough memory to remember that most of us were kids watching him on Reading Rainbow. In fact, that's how I recognized him on TNG.
Yeah, he affected my childhood in two ways.
The first time I saw him on Star Trek, I literally looked at my dad and I said, "Dad, it's the guy from Reading Rainbow." I was a little kid. I didn't know his name very well, but I'm like, "It's the guy from Reading Rainbow."
You know what kills me? All these people in our community I'm seeing tweet go, I didn't realize Sirtis was like this. It's like, I did a video blasting her almost 2 years ago for saying that you can't be a Star Trek fan if you hold certain political beliefs.
Right.
Oh, which time?
Yeah. I mean, she hasn't changed her spots.
The one where she openly said that even her co-stars that are liberal like her have told her, stop doing all this political shit at events. You're hurting our public image. And she said, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyways.
Then they need to stop inviting her. Star Trek fans, look, if Star Trek
that is
fans
a
want to go
hostile
get
workplace. That is being inappropriate at the job at that point. If you're being told you're hired to do this fucking convention, you're told don't bring your politics up, and you do it anyway, even though it affects your other co-stars. You don't give a shit about anybody but yourself, you fucking bitch.
And all she ever does at conventions is bitch about her costume and shit anyway, so.
I know, and she fucking... They've already shown the paperwork over and over. She picked the fucking costume herself, and it was like a year after she'd done a movie where she did full nude scenes. For fuck's sakes. When fucking skanky thoughts try to pretend that they're moral propriety women, it's like fucking Madonna's shit, try to act like she's some silenced victim. It's like, you cannot complain about the patriarchy. You've banged 90% of it, you fucking whore.
Well, let's not forget this, Rosetta. When it comes to that Madonna thing, here's like the patriarchy. It's like, okay, let me see if I understand this correctly. I'm a child. I was born in 79. I remember the 80s. I remember the 90s. I remember the 2000s. Madonna was on the charts all those decades in some form or fashion.
I remember because I hated her. I mean,
she was on the same kind of touring idea like Prince, Michael Jackson, Pat Benatar, Journey, you name it. I mean, she could sell out a concert for a long. In fact, if she wanted to now,
even after American Pie, she could sell out a concert.
Exactly. Yep. I think she could, if she went on tour right now. It's like, put it this way, I remember reading some years back.
I don't know why she's a talentless hack, but.
Well, I remember this. They were talking. I was looking at something many years back, and it was highest paid artist for touring, and the number one artist for touring was Prince. And I looked it up, and Prince hadn't put out a new album in like 5-6 years or 7 years. But I'm like, the guy's got such a huge catalog. He doesn't need to really do new music. And the same thing with Madonna. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Same thing with a lot of those. So to sit here and tell me the patriarchy, no, bullshit. The patriarchy is the reason why you have the money you have, because you had a bunch of horny kids excited about your sexiness. Let's be honest,
had nothing to do with talent. She just used her body like a fucking cheapo. I mean,
yeah, she was the original Britney Spears.
I actually did like a lot of her early stuff.
Yes, but
you just lost points in my eyes.
Well, all I'll say is that on her early stuff, she sang before the auto-tune was in common use. So she actually had to be able to sing. Now, whether she started to lose that and took advantage of her other assets.
Then wasn't good.
I'm not arguing her. Look, I'm not arguing she was a great singer. I'm saying she could sing. There were acts that had to lip sync at the time, for crying out loud.
I've got context to something here on this. When I bitch about her, she came out when I was very little, because she came out in the early 80s. I was literally like a year old when her first single came out. And my mom talks about the fact that the first time they played one of her songs, I sat there covering my ears after a few seconds. The second time it came on the radio, I ran across the room screaming, "Icky Donna," and shut it off. And that was my childhood.
Even as a toddler, you had good taste.
JP, I didn't say they were great. I said they were on the same talking level at those times. One of the things I was saying was, like I said, Prince was selling out concert halls, and he'd been around for 30 years and stuff. But, you have so much of a catalog at that point. And, most people are generally you're at that point, you're going to pull your favorites. and that's what you're going to generally produce. Maybe pop a few new ones in, maybe something you like that's not, necessarily totally popular. I mean, I've seen it in many of the concerts I've gone to. Like when I saw Pat Benatar, when I saw Journey, I mean, pretty much predominantly or Leonard Skinner or Metallica, they play the songs most people are going to know.
Mm-hmm.
But to sit
Metallica's
here
really
and
good
say
at
that
that.
you've got a boot on your neck for the patriarchy, please, if it wasn't for the patriarchy and all us kids and us growing up and wanting to buy Madonna tickets, and well, we couldn't at the time, but we'd buy Madonna CDs, merchandise, you name it.
I'm convinced she only had a career because of who she gave blowjobs to.
Well, there was a lot of women in the 80s who wanted to be like her because she was.
Oh no,
Remember
I'm
when
not
she
saying when
did?
she had her career she didn't play it well and get a lot of money out of it. I'm saying I still think that's why she got a contract in the first place, because she wasn't technically that talented. She does not have a good range. She does not have a high talent voice.
But if you think about this, for
That
example, when
wasn't
she
what she
did,
was selling.
well, remember when she did the MTV Music Awards, back when the MTV Music Awards actually meant something? She went out there, or was it the MTV? Anyway, it was an award show. I don't remember which one. It could have been the Grammys for all I fucking know. And she's doing like a virgin. She's in the dress. She's rolling around. She's doing things on the floor. And this was all considered risque back then. Remember, she was the
Yeah,
one
that was
who
the
was
80s.
starting the risque look movement.
Yes.
So people like J-Lo and all them, I'm sorry, but you got to thank that woman for breaking that barrier.
I don't thank her for that. I don't like that 90%
was
of the music industry is slut songs now.
Yeah.
I don't shame people if they want to be sexual, any of that. I'm not saying that we need to be modest or any of that. I'm saying that she created an era where every freaking little girl wanted to dress like a whore and talk about their body and nothing else. And
It was
I
like high
actually
school.
And
don't
that's what she was
appreciate
selling.
that.
And that's what she was selling, yes.
Oh,
You
it
don't
absolutely
judge
was. She
any
was
of her
selling her fucking
music
body.
in the 80s and 90s. Her product was her body. All that music was secondary.
Yeah, and that I'm not. That's what I'm exactly saying. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. Now, again, it's not saying let's not be sexual, any of that. I'm not opposed to the sexual revolution and that. It's that I think there's a way to go about it that's less immature and trashy than she's created and promoted and than a lot of the stuff now.
Just imagine how easy her career would have been if OnlyFans had been a thing back then.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the other creepy thing. I am not hot, people. I do not need DMs from people asking me to open one.
what?
Oh, several the last few days. People asking me to open an OnlyFans.
Oh, jeez.
And people saying in my friends' streams in the chat that they want to see my feet.
Okay. And here I thought OnlyFans was some kind of joke. I didn't know it was an actual real thing.
Oh, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I think I'll avoid it.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, you just asked a married woman to show her body to you for money. How fucking classless are you?
It's the internet. They probably don't even know how to spell class.
No, they think it's a 3-letter word and CL doesn't exist, apparently.
Well, they have plenty of class, except it's all low.
So this is where I was like, oh God, for sakes, please, really? This is what people have come to?
Mr. Lundell is very accurate on this. Madonna just used sex and semi-porn to stay relevant. Yeah, she did.
What was it a few years ago on that awards show where she's literally so old now that she wanted to wear her old outfits and she actually had to put a sling on the bottom of her costume to hold her butt up in the costume?
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched
It was so
Hey, Cap, you get your mic
ridiculous.
working?
Things are working again. I think from now on, wasn't able to watch, but okay. Now I am going to. Uh, that reminds me. Thank you, Orville Nation. Why don't you come on the panel? I will personally send you the link. Give me just one moment. I think from now on, when I have to shut down, I'll just have to mute NB. That's no problem.
I wasn't the only one talking.
To be fair, people can unmute when the host mutes you, so that's not going to stop him.
Oh, I know, but I could take him out.
Wow, what'd I do wrong? I was just going with the conversation.
For fuck's sake. No, I was going to. Okay, let me ask this, Red Shirt. Since I actually left you in charge, did he behave himself?
I thought so.
Okay, good.
And
I didn't have to smack him down even once.
Good.
Hey,
Actually,
Orville,
Rosetta did most of the talking.
Yeah, everyone's shocked now, right?
Who?
That I was running my mouth. Everyone's shocked. Come on, right? No.
No, nobody's
Joseph,
shocked by that.
No, Joseph, I am not subbing to your OnlyFans.
You know what, Joseph? I will subscribe to your OnlyFans. Since he just
content.
Go ahead and run that by your wife, and if she actually approves, I'll give you $1. I'll donate $1 to you on OnlyFans if you can actually convince your wife to approve that.
Well, considering his content on YouTube, that would be the extent of his content on OnlyFans. Therefore, there would be no offensive content because there would be no content. He can join any platform, doesn't matter what, and he would have no offensive content because there wouldn't be any on there. Now, what I'm strongly suggesting is that Joseph does put some content on his channel. Cats. He needs to have his own cat videos. Since everybody's saying more cats for Joseph, let's have him have cat videos. Otherwise, no videos. Everybody knows, okay, Orville can only listen. All right. So here was what I was going to say. And I was going to wait another 20 minutes before I said it, but since you're on now, I'll say it now. I have had several well-meaning people. There was somebody earlier in chat that was on that I actually talked to last night who finally got through to me. Okay. I do not care about the numbers. Although there are times I'd like to look and see in the chat that there's more than, like today, 17 are watching. I love that. That's fun. You know, most of the time it's like 12. And yeah, I know some people are going, oh, I wish I could get 12. And I was so focused on the number, it was ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that. Number 2, there were people that have been saying things, well-intentioned, well-meaning, and, yeah, not for me. Oh, you should have X number of subscribers by now. No, because if they were interested, they'd subscribe. And then I'll ask, because here's the other question I'm going to ask when people say that. Have you sent out my content for people to watch? Have you tweeted it out? Have you sent it out on Facebook? Have you done whatever? Because if you're not recommending it, they're not going to watch it. And if you're saying people should watch it, why aren't you recommending it? Okay. Number 2, you should be monetized. Why? Why should I be monetized? I don't care if I have 1,000 subscribers. Don't care. I have 300 and whatever the hell I have now. Last count I had was 333. It could be more, could be less. Doesn't matter. I have over 300 subscribers. There are people that I talk to regularly who would love to have 300 subscribers, including Resolute Germ, who should have 300 subscribers or more. So the number of subscribers and being monetized are not going to be a priority. Don't care. Number 3, I have actually turned down people who wanted me to be on their channel. I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm done doing that. If somebody asks me on, unless it's something really stupid where, I wouldn't agree with it, kind of like a new truck channel saying how wonderful new truck is, that ain't going to happen. But within reason, if I'm invited on, I'm going to join.
Well, you're always welcome on my show when I'm on if you're around.
Oh, I know.
Unfortunately for my poor audience. I mean,
I didn't for a while. I honestly was not under that impression, but you've made that clear. Number 3.
That's what to everybody, because all these people going, you're not talking to me anymore. I'm not talking to anyone anymore. I just can't keep up, so I'm just putting it in Discord. It's nothing against anyone.
That's why. No, see, that's why you have Richard. That's not your job.
That stuff.
It's his. So let's see here. Okay, whatever. I've lost track of numbers now.
3.
Okay, number 3. I have my own issues with my self-image and self-esteem. I don't need anybody telling me how shitty I am. You know what? I agree.
Yay, so we found common ground. I mean...
So, you know what? You're going to downvote. Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, it affects the video somewhat. But it's also an interaction. So, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Wait. You said you don't think you're that great? We found common ground. This is wonderful. Just kidding.
And let's see here. Yeah, that's why you're on as much as you are, because I'm so horrible. So no more self-deprecation. Yeah, fuck that. I got enough people trying to do that as it is.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And the problem is, and I'm going to be honest about it, there are people doing it who used to call themselves my friend. And fuck you. And that's not aimed at anyone in particular, because there's somebody that I had been wanting to talk to, but haven't been able to because of situations. But you know what? If you got an issue with me, that's fine. Come to me. Directly. Don't go to Rosetta. Don't go to NB Geek. Don't go to whoever else. Don't go to Bird. You got an issue with me, you bring it to me. Either that or you have absolutely. And I'm going to tell everybody who's listening, everybody who's on the panel, whatever, if somebody has an issue with me, they bring it to you, tell them this. If you have a problem with Captain Truck, you talk to him. I don't want to hear about it.
That's why I tell everyone with their drama. It's like, tell it to the person you're complaining about. I don't fucking care.
And the only reason I'm saying that on this show is because I want to be absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. Okay, I don't want rumors. I don't want bullshit. Okay, I don't. When I say something to, okay, like if I'm talking to Rosetta about NB Geek, and I say something that isn't necessarily positive, like he's sometimes a big mouth, there's nothing I have said to her that I would not say to him. Would
Yeah,
not
we all
have
call him
not.
a big mouth. I mean,
I have never said anything in private in any conversation about somebody that I have not or would not say to them. And I dare these people to say the same to me. Because I guarantee you they won't. They'll be the same ones. Oh, hey, Cap, you're great. You're awesome. While at the same time talking behind my back and talking shit. And I'm done with it. So, you want to come on? You are welcome to come on. I'll even let you on the panel. That's fine. You have a grievance with me, you air it. That's fine. If you don't want to do it in private, we'll do it on here.
I have
But
a
I'm done
grievance.
with
Can
the
we get back to
bitching.
bullshitting?
Oh, we will. We will. Trust me. We will.
I'm sorry. I'm just interjecting things to make us feel a little lighthearted while this is going on.
Number 4, excuse me. I love having guests. I love having a panel. There are times, however, when I'm going to take charge because it's my channel. I'm letting that be known. So when it happens, I'll. And again, that's not directed at anyone on this panel specifically. And it is also to people who aren't on the panel. So, and finally, if you want to encourage me to do what I'm doing and do other stuff, wonderful. I appreciate it. Okay? Because I've had other people telling me, oh, you need to do other content. Well, I'm going to tell you my weakness. Okay? I can't write scripts. And just recording myself talking about a fucking episode of Star Trek is going to be boring. I will need some kind of script, some kind of outline, something to work with. So if you got an outline, if you got some kind of details, go ahead and send it to me. Okay? Where do I start? And I mean, be basic. Go with the title. Go with the opening. Suggest every fucking thing, bullet point by bullet point, and I'll fill it in. Okay? I need details. I need to know how to do it, and then I can get better. But I'm not going to start out with a shitty-ass video because, oh, well, you need to make content. Yeah. So, having said that, I'm done.
Yay! I mean,
and now, back to the show.
Sorry, you know how I am.
And yes, thank you, NB Geek, for bringing that up. Please, spread that hashtag. Shut up and entertain us.
And while we're at it, sub to my fucking channel. I deserve it.
And you know what, Rosetta, you're a mod. Add your fucking link in. If you're a mod, add your link in. If you have a channel and are not a mod, speak up. I'm not going to have everyone's channel just on a list handy.
Oh, I know.
And no offhand.
I've got friends helping me write a freaking list for crying out loud to help me. Because, yeah. Here, I'll even send you over to the videos and you can see how twisted I am. I mean...
And thank you, Michael, for putting that in. I appreciate that.
No, JP! That's context to where I rant while Cap was off. Why the fuck are people asking me for OnlyFans and feet videos?
I think that's more of a meme than anything nowadays.
No, these guys have actually been messaging and seriously asking.
Oh, I'm sure there's real people mixed into that stew, but most of it, if I ask for it, I'm not into feet at all. But I'll say it just to be a fucking ass.
If you make a joke for it on a panel or something is one thing. You're not messaging people saying that.
Well, see, I'll say this. And I've not been involved in any of it at all. So if you do decide to have an OnlyFans page, only put your feet on there. Just your feet. That's it. That way it'll satisfy all the idiots.
Nothing is satisfying about size 10 nomadic feet.
Oh, now you're a size queen.
Size matters.
Hey, my thick thighs are awesome. My big butt, my tits, I'm good with that. My fat fucking feet, I don't like.
All right, Captain Trek, I'm going to try to actually finally get some sleep before I have to go through them today.
Okay.
Because this is not going to be a good day if I have no sleep.
This is true. Before you leave, though, do you have anything to add? Then you can go.
I don't really have anything to add. I think you said it, and I think you're absolutely right. I don't have any content on my channel, and it's in large part for the same reason that you just described. I don't want to try and plan out a description of something and speak to it entirely by myself. It just that just doesn't appeal to me. That sounds too much like being back in high school English writing an essay, and I can sympathize. So I would say no. I will give you this piece of advice I've heard from another YouTuber who's gotten very successful. I won't mention his name because it doesn't matter. Do what you like and what you're good at. And the people who appreciate what you like and what you're good at will watch you. And that's really, if you're doing this, if you're doing this because you want to make a living at it, okay, then you have a whole new set of problems you have to deal with. If you're doing this because you enjoy it and it's fun and you've met people and you get to hang out with people you like, just do what you like, do what you're good at, and stick with it. Because that's really all that's going to matter to you because nobody's paying you to do it. So why do something you don't want to do if nobody pays you? That's what work is.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, I have a wonderful. Thank you, Michael, for putting in your link. I'm so glad you did because YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, decided to unsubscribe me.
Yeah, and people do double check my channel because I keep having weird numbers that are divisible by 10 vanish out of my subscribers list out of the blue. It's been doing that for about 3 months now.
And I am still subscribed to your channel, thankfully.
Yeah, it dropped me from your channel, Rosetta. Should count as a resubscribe now.
Okay.
If it doesn't
drop it. It's been doing it to me like crazy lately, and it's irritating the crap out of me because I want my friends to know when I'm on so they can hang out.
And I know you can only listen, Orville Nation, so I hope you don't mind if I ask. If somebody wouldn't mind putting in the link for PJ, please, I would appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Lundell, Captain Trek, you just complained about not knowing how to do that content for your channel. Guess what? You just made some content for your channel.
You played yourself.
Okay, let me ask this. How? What did I do that created content?
You basically just had a 10-minute symposium about the difficulties of being an up-and-coming YouTuber.
Yeah,
actually you did.
That a video. In fact, somebody could clip that section. He could post it as a video.
Chatter would have thought of that.
Definitely work out as a video.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the ways you can make videos for your channel is you can go through streams and clip sections you liked, jokes you liked, and stuff like that, and post them as their own events.
Oh, kind of like
highlight reels.
Shit, I can't think of her name now. Why can't I think of it? Mecha Random 42. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
she
Yeah,
actually
her entire
a lot of
channel.
her videos she actually records while she's streaming.
Yep. She records
Yeah,
the
I
live
haven't.
stream, cuts it off, and then reposts that portion of the live stream. Yes. I kind of like those, actually.
Yeah.
I've been
It's very
involved in the live
helpful,
stream.
especially since she's freaking live streaming in the middle of the night.
I haven't listened to her in a long time.
All right, folks. I
Later.
gotta get
Go to
out of
bed.
here. It's
Go
been a
to bed.
pleasure. Take care, everybody. I will be seeing you around, and I will talk with all of you later.
See you, Richard.
Now, I'm not going to have my afternoon stream today
And why not?
because in the afternoon today we'll be doing the Valhalla stream with Odin, which usually takes 3-ish hours, and that's going to be at like 1 or 2 my time. So it's going to be right in the middle of when I usually stream.
Ah.
He does it one Sunday a month, and it's either the second to last or last Sunday of the month, depending on his schedule. And that's when he brings on his high-tier backers and close friends, and we bullshit for hours.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I love hanging out with Odin.
Captain,
Even
did you
though
see what
it's hard.
JP is saying? That is a great idea.
Ah.
Trek Talks. Just post your little 5-minute little rants about anything. That's perfect content for you.
That is, actually.
I like the comment at the bottom. Holy shit, Batman, I had an idea.
Yes, you did.
Did it hurt?
Probably no more than the hemorrhoids he usually has.
Damn. That's cold.
Let's see here. Now I've let's see here. I forgot to restart Discord. I wanted to get back on here. I had even bothered to look on that today. Ah. And it didn't involve sex. You're right.
My goal today is just to try to finish getting as many of these ear hooks sorted as possible so I can actually do another drawing stream on Monday. My drawing stream Monday will start with finishing this piece.
Cool.
Very nice piece.
Boobs.
Still gotta finish the hat, a few other details on her, and do the background.
Absolutely.
But this is one of the pinups I actually drew.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, big tits and hips, right?
Can't go wrong with that.
Hey, JP's had an idea. It didn't involve sex, and that's because he's working on that post-nut clarity, apparently.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's medical,
Let's be
What's the
clear,
word?
my channel has a running gag because somebody made a comment and it's turned into his medical advice is when in pain, have a wank. We have a guy who hangs out in my chat who is an actual doctor who keeps saying, that's medically sound, we all need to wank more.
Yeah, there's medical precedent for that, yeah.
That's Romer who keeps telling everybody that's true. And yet he actually is a doctor.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, thank you, Romer. You're so helpful. He's like, well, I'm just trying to give people sound advice. Like, he's the same one who says, just remember, clothes are restrictive. You want your body to be free-flowing.
Instructions unclear, dick stuck in toaster.
What the fuck, Michael? I just want to point out to everybody, I don't know how Michael ended up this... Did all this, you getting up with all these different night streamers and morning streamers, really start all just because of that late night stream I did where you got to meet Foley and Jedi in them?
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much how I glommed onto Trek and Jedi Bill and them, yeah. And I'm an insomniac. I wasn't kidding about that. I'm up at night.
So then you start finding all my insomniac friends going, hey, wait a minute, I'm home.
I mean, one of them specifically labeled Insomniac Soup. Yeah, that grabbed my attention. Which he didn't do tonight. Is he okay?
He has a group for it. He posted that he was canceling it for the night. He does sometimes, so.
Oh, okay.
It's never guaranteed on the weekends anyways.
I know Finatra's over on his right now dealing with testifying them.
Oh, fuck that.
He's having a late night stank.
Fuck them all.
That's okay. Finn knows how to deal with him. Meanwhile, I'm finally laying down those big fat inks on here.
I liked how Perth dealt with it. Oh, that's awesome. Where he posted a video and during the premiere, the guy shows up whining in chat. I'm here to lodge a complaint. Oh, that's great. The complaint department's upstairs. And that was it. And didn't acknowledge him anymore. It's like...
I called him Silver Bullet on some stream or another, then I just walked away. You can minimize me now.
Yeah, I was just getting to that. Ow. That required me to move.
Oh, it was NB that dropped out because he's talking to his wife. Got it.
Yes.
Yes, it is sort of Venom-like. It is from an independent comic being produced right now called The Embrace. This is a piece of fan art that I've done, and it's Venomish meets Crow. It's a super suit made of ghosts.
That's very interesting.
I don't know why that single sentence isn't his major campaign line. It is a super suit made of ghosts. That's awesome.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, that should be the major tagline.
I'm just going to sit here and try to get this shit done.
His name's Michael Oden. I don't know that he has his own channel. He shows up in a lot of Comicsgate streams recently, though.
Yeah, that's all part of that grind. Once you start putting your books out, you got to just start hitting every stream that'll let you on.
Oh, yeah. And this piece is part of a fan art contest that he's doing.
And that is, by the way, I still have the utmost thanks and appreciation because part of why I was able to help Doc get funding on Tilt 2 is because Jesse and Jeff brought me onto the after show of High Council to do a whole promotion show for him. And, yeah, I actually got 12 or so full backers out of that show, almost 1,000 in backing.
Yeah.
So I actually have great thank you to them for that. It was an amazing gift for them to help me do that. See, Jesse and Jeff, they may be busy, but they really try to be humble and go meet people from all different page sizes and communities. Any chance they actually have. And those are the kind of people I prefer hanging out with. The ones who really do want to know everybody and get to know people.
Yeah, even if I ever got to be some sort of big fish, this is the kind of level that I'm comfortable at interaction with.
Yeah, I mean, I've been invited on a few big streams over the time where you end up looking over and there's 1,000+ in the chat. And the first time that happened to me, I started to freak out so much at how many people were actually watching me that she had to put me off camera for a half hour while I was shaking.
Yeah, the equivalency is where you're going. The chat's going by so fast, it's making mile markers look like fence posts.
It's like I don't know how to handle this. I'm just a little introvert, girl. Please no.
Well, see, that's where I would be going and looking at the StreamYard area. and going, okay, I'm only looking backstage. I'm talking to the people who are on the panel, and that's it. Unless somebody brings attention to a message that was directed at me, I'm not even going to see it.
Well, see, the thing is, I went to her chat to thank her because she reached out to me when I had my meltdown. I was stressed out, and so I went to the chat just to thank her for being so kind to me the day before, and I said thank you in chat. She goes, "You want to come on?" and sends me the link before I had hardly a chance to respond. This is one of the people I like. This is one of the bigger accounts, and she says that and sends me the link, and I'm going, yeah, okay.
Kapla, Bird of Prey. Good luck with that doctor's appointment.
Yes.
Take care, Bird, sweetie. And then it was just like this moment of, did this really fucking happen? But it's like, it was just a moment of, fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
How about that Discovery show, though, right?
No, yeah. What are you doing to us?
I don't know. I've been watching it for clarification purposes. I still have my Netflix subscription. I just recently got rid of Disney Plus. I used that money and rolled it over and got Surfshark. So I'm watching Discovery on Netflix in Japan. And, just to have because I wasn't going to give CBS the money to watch a trash show, for review purposes or anything like that. And I've got to say, there's a couple of good characters in it even. But good Lord, I think the biggest problem with this show is the fact it has the Star Trek label on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That and their viewpoint of people with certain disabilities is really medieval, actually.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's high art or fine art in any way, sense, or form, but it's not a bad little sci-fi show if you take off the Star Trek label.
I disagree.
Take off the Star Trek label and cut back about 2/3 on Michael Burnham.
2/3, 3/4.
A lot of my complaints on the movies was that they tried to make it Star Trek and they added all the fucking lens flare and over the top stuff. They could have been decent popcorn flicks if they took a lot of that shit out. But
yeah,
they tried to make it about Star Trek, and they tried to name it after all these characters, and it wasn't Star Trek. It wasn't intellectual. It was an action movie.
Yeah, that's the same problem that the Next Gen movies had.
Those at least still had some intellectual discussions and stuff. It wasn't as good, but there was something there.
To a minimal extent, but seeing Patrick Stewart in a gunfight in that Sona whatever it was really discredited that movie in my eyes.
And I'm sorry, I don't care about seeing a futuristic dune buggy riding through the desert. Who cares?
The downside is it's also the same movie that has the Sovereign class going ham with its fucking phasers, and that's awesome as shit,
Yeah, that's the type of action that belongs in Star Trek, not a 50-year-old guy with a rifle trying to fight off aliens.
Let's not forget. Let's honestly not forget. The movies really went downhill when they had an obsolete Bird of Prey take out the Enterprise.
But they had the shield frequency.
Yeah, which they should have been able to change a split second later, like they've done many, many times with the goddamn Borg.
But that would require logic.
No, that would require the guy who wrote the story to actually have known what the hell they were talking about, not just put it in there because it was a plot point. That shield should have been modified instantly. Not only that, there's no reason why the Enterprise D, with all that phaser power it has, should have only got one shot off. It should have fired the bottom one, the top, the underdome, the bottom, and the two sides, and they would have taken that out. Or they could have just shot a spread of photon torpedoes and taken that damn ship out.
Again, you're using logic and reason, and most of these scriptwriters have none of that.
And not as intimately familiar with the tech as other people involved in the show. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, again, I have no problem with the complaints that are legitimate on these movies and stuff. That's why, as I said, and you have a point there, it still at least had some of the intellectualism and discussions.
Correct. You're right. It did that at least, unlike the JJ flicks.
It was fucked up in places, but it still at least maintained part of what makes Trek.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure that whole thing with the Bird of Prey was just thrown together while they were in production. They probably came up with we're going to destroy the Enterprise in this, and by that time they had already made the decision it's going to be a 20-year-old Bird of Prey, so we can use this footage.
So, what was it? They got hit like 3 times? And if I'm not mistaken, the Enterprise A took like 4 or 5 hits and was still in one piece?
The context of the battle is supposed to be going on for some time, not just the hits that were showing on screen.
Yeah.
It is supposed to
That
be
battle
protracted.
shouldn't have lasted. Come on, guys, we've seen Bird of Preys get taken down. Okay, this should have been a no-brainer. This should have been an easy kill, minor damage to the front side where the starboard fin is. First off, if you're going to really test that out, don't you think the bridge is the first place you hit?
Yeah, bridge or in this cell.
Exactly.
You don't hit the you don't hit the deflector dish.
Without the warp nacelles, the ship is basically useless, except for impulse power.
Well,
True.
that and you get a cascade feedback into the freaking dilithium chamber, and boom.
Boom. Yeah, bye-bye ship. So, yeah, that would be my first target.
Yeah.
Is the engines.
At
Always.
worst, it hits the shield and nothing lost. And you may just get the one shot. Just go for broke.
And that might have been the geekiest sentence I've said on your show so far.
Yeah. And JP says you cannot use logic and reason in any movie. Why?
Well, you got to be able to use some. The opposite of using logic and reason is where you get things like Transformers Michael Bay. Because, oh my god, those things were off the wall.
I only liked the first one.
The first one was really cool in that it brought the concept to the big screen, but it's still just like tons of scrap metal slamming into each other.
They had enough story to justify it. But there should have never been a sequel.
Well, the only reason why I even like the second one is honestly, I just like watching, for the fact that we had the guy who voices Optimus Prime being Optimus Prime in the live action. That to me was a nice feature. But the second one, the only thing I liked about it was with Optimus going, "I'll take you all on," and just goes basically out in a blaze of glory.
Well, then you turn around and you got the Nimoy callback in like the third or fourth one. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think that's the third one.
Now, Nimoy was originally Galvatron, wasn't he?
Yes, in the Transformers the movie in 1984, after Megatron was taken out by Unicron and reformed into Galvatron, Leonard Nimoy took over that voice, and then he was the voice of Sentinel Prime in the movie.
Yes. That was one of his last movies, I think, too. I will say this. I know there's a lot that can be desired about those JJ Trek movies. I still enjoy them for what they are, but they are not intellectual Star Trek. They are more popcorn. I will say this. I did quite enjoy Star Trek Beyond. I did kind of like the end where we're seeing that photo with Spock and the rest of the original Enterprise crew. And I know that was a still photo they did when they were just together, like a prop photo. But I still thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah, those JJ films would have been okay if you just strip out Star Trek. Just have some random.
They're still fucking early college film school lens flare crap effects.
Yeah, but you could accept that for what it is. It's just a standard blockbuster movie that you're not expecting anything on it. But the fact that they slap Star Trek in the title means people actually had expectations for it.
Yeah. Now, I know it was stupid, but I really dug the sabotage Franklin surfing in the swarm scene. Like, I know it was dumb, and it's not really that Star Trek, but I thought that scene was cool as hell. And I think that's JJ's biggest problem. He has these ideas for really cool visual scenes, but no plot in between them to string them together properly.
And he's not good at doing the effects. He needs somebody better to do his effects. Who can tell him, don't do this certain color effect, don't do this certain lens flare effect. They don't look good. What we do is this instead, it'll look much better. He's got great ideas, but he doesn't execute them well.
Right.
Now, is JJ a director? He's a director,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Director and writer, yes.
JJ is also an asshole.
Well, so is pretty much the
director.
99% of the people in Hollywood.
Correct.
Look, he did this whole interview a little over a year ago where he blasted all over, directly complaining about fandom and my friends and stuff like that. And unfortunately, they're not just in Star Wars. We have to put up with them all over the place. And so I just tweeted at him that you're right, because you also fucked up Star Trek for us too, didn't you?
Well, he fucked up his own properties in Lost and Alias.
Oh, God, what a good show that just went straight to hell.
Both of those were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, he had my old account blocked for a while, and I don't even try to talk to him now. Fuck him.
Like I said, he's got great ideas for action set pieces, and he knows how to start something to get you to want to watch more. But after that, it falls off a cliff.
It doesn't fall off a cliff.
He seems to have an idea for creative. He seems to have idea for creative consulting and writing. Maybe he just needs to go to being a producer and let somebody else direct.
Yeah.
My biggest problem
is
every project has someone to basically handhold them through the story. I think if Catherine Kennedy wasn't involved at all and pushing the agenda, JJ would have done okay with the Star Wars films, because JJ would have just sat there and done whatever George Lucas told him to do. And with George Lucas watching over him, I'm sure JJ would have made 3 perfectly coherent films. But that didn't happen.
Well, the idea that they initially wanted to have 3 different directors was a flawed idea from the beginning.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you do that?
So they can get it out in 3 consecutive years.
Because they hate money, apparently.
Apparently.
Go ahead.
The idea of just go with the Star Wars. They didn't want to properly space it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really that familiar with Mission Impossible 3, Pete. I know I've seen it, but honestly, I can't even think of the last Mission Impossible movie I saw.
I'll dip from that conversation because I was never a fan of Mission Impossible, so.
Nah, I'm just saying, like I said, I don't really know much. Although I did see this, I was checking for this, that Ben Shapiro, Gina Carano interview dropped 20 minutes ago. I'll be watching that later. Yeah, Rosetta, that picture I sent you, that's like one of the few times my cats will ever be next to each other.
Yeah, Ornery and Athena are the same. I can almost never get them to actually sit next to each other and get along.
The only reason they were even sitting next to each other is because I had a person in the house who was going through for the moving inspection, and my cat Caramel, the dark one, she does not like people she does not know, and she will stare at them and follow and just be like, "I'm watching you."
Get out of my house, or I'll cut you. I mean,
Oh, my cats have
Basically, yeah.
claws. I don't believe in declawing your cats.
no, fuck no. That is absolutely repugnant. That would be. It's not removing a nail, which even that. You want to pull a nail off your finger and tell me that feels good, and that doesn't fuck up how your hand works. But it's not removing a nail. The way the cat's paws are shaped, a claw is their fucking finger, and the nerve goes up it.
Not only that, it would prevent him from being able to do his climbing or defend himself.
Yes. That's how their bodies function. They need those claws to function. Yes.
I had a cat once that I adopted, and this poor thing was declawed, and I had to take it twice for surgery because she got septic because she got into an attack with another cat, and of course she has no freaking front claws to defend herself. I actually asked a question. I said, "Is there?" I said, "I have a stupid question. Is there any way to actually reattach claws?" They go, "No." It's like, fuck.
I know. It's a horrific, ridiculous, repugnant practice that never should have existed. And yet there's still people out there defending it and doing it.
The only reason to declaw, and I mean one claw, any animal is if it becomes infected or cancerous. If there's
if you have to remove it to keep the animal alive.
Yeah, if there's a medical need to keep the animal alive and safe and well, fine, do it. Otherwise, no. That's wrong. That's like cutting off somebody's finger just for convenience sake.
Well, if you cut it off, they can't flip you off. That's the same kind of logic, right?
Yep.
If you cut it off, they can't claw you. If you don't want claw marks on you, don't own fucking cats. Because guess what? That's part of how they communicate their language, both love and violence, is kneading and claws and grabbing. You will get clawed at some point if you own a cat.
Yeah. If you don't want claw marks, don't date a Portuguese woman either.
Fuck's sake, Michael!
Where's the lie?
I'm trying to be all serious and sweet, and he says that shit.
That is serious.
This is very serious. I mean, you gotta watch out for yourself out there.
Alright, so. All neat, organized, and ready to use.
Let's see here.
I'm ignoring Michael's comment for obvious reasons. Michael, you're
Why?
a fucking psycho.
I'm a sociopath. There's a subtle difference.
Yeah, that's a serious PSA if you're going to be dating any Portuguese or some Vietnamese, other certain Southeast Asian groups. They do like to claw. And they will ask questions at the ER if you come in several times.
I've had enough sex injuries. I know the ER asks questions. I mean...
I have a question. Why didn't Geordi drop the warp core in Star Trek Generations?
He tried. It failed.
Yeah.
Oh, did it? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, there's a line, ejection systems are offline.
Yeah, of course they are.
Well, at least that was
addressed.
Addressed.
Yeah, at least it was addressed. Okay, I couldn't. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll be honest, I forgot that part. But okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there are things that at least in other movies, it's like, oh, well, why did they do that? Because the idiots didn't think to write it.
I think a one-up that I will give to Kelvinverse movies as opposed to next-gen movies in general, JJ actually did make them ensemble cast pieces, whereas the Next Generation movies felt very much like
Data and Picard.
Yeah, very big episodes centered around Data and Picard.
I have a complaint with that. Even as much as I love Data, I love the progress, I love the emotion chip and all that stuff. I did. It shouldn't have been every fucking movie. There should have been more focus on other characters too.
Correct.
See, that's where I think one of the biggest flaws in Star Trek is when they're in the movies. Whereas in the series, you get a 45-minute plot centered around certain characters, and then we can move on to another episode and another character. Whereas in Star Trek, say we get an hour and 45 minute, basically we're getting 2 episodes, for lack of a better term. And unfortunately, they centric around very sick people, which is understandable at times. But you kind of notice, especially in First Contact, a lot of people got kind of shafted.
Yeah, First Contact is very much a Picard and Data driven narrative.
To be fair, some of those based on certain character episodes have given a lot of fodder. One of the things my friends were tweeting out with my whole war with McFadden was, hey, fuck any ghosts lately?
She's never going to live that episode down.
No.
Didn't she direct that episode too or something? Now I've got to go look that up now really quick.
But literally, yeah, my friends were tweeting that at her. Hey, fuck any ghosts lately? It's like,
See, the biggest thing that I cannot stand is when people, and I don't care what age you are, but it's mostly the very, very young generation trying to tell us what Star Trek really means. And it's like, you're missing the whole point. See, we're not talking about
my older brother is one of the ones telling those of us who don't like the new stuff that we're not real fans. My older fucking brother.
No, directed by Jonathan Frakes.
But that's the thing we're always trying. It's like, well, you're not a real Star Trek fan because you don't like Discovery, you don't like Picard, you don't like that. It's like, this to us is not Star Trek. This is not what Star Trek means to us. Well, this is what Star Trek really means. No, that's not what it really means. That's what you think it means. And I don't know how long you've been watching, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. You got people who are 40, 50 years plus who have been watching this shows religiously throughout their lives. We know what Star Trek means to us. We know what it feels to us. We cite episodes. We cite titles. I was like, you got to understand, how many shows can you really cite the name of the episode by the title and people will know what it is? Mostly that's in Star Trek.
I can only do that for a few episodes of Star Trek. I'm terrible with episode names.
I'm terrible with names and numbers too, so that's hard for me. But no, I mean, I'm in my late 30s here. I've been watching Star Trek stuff since I was literally sitting on Mom's lap as a baby watching it.
Yep.
Same here.
So the lesson we take away from that particular episode isn't that we should achieve the rare grandmother-granddaughter combo?
My grandmother is actually the reason I started watching TOS, because my first introduction into Star Trek was actually TNG when it first came out. My grandmother was not a Picard fan, so she took me down to the basement, showed me her cassette collection of these Star Treks, because she had all 79 episodes. And she goes, all right. She put in Where No Man Has Gone Before. She skipped the Cage and went to Where No Man Has Gone Before and said, okay, let me show you what real Star Trek is.
Oh, boo, I'd have watched The Cage.
Oh, I did watch The Cage eventually. But she wanted to introduce me to Kirk.
I actually kind of did a verbal walkthrough of that episode with the wife last night, of explaining the cage and the what was it, the third episode that called it back.
See, what I
Are
would
you
do,
thinking of the menagerie?
the
Menagerie, that's it.
to say
No,
is,
that was
I would,
that was more the middle of the season.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 8.
But if you're going to
Yep.
start with Star Trek, I would not start with the cage. I would start with the first aired episode and continue on, and then I would, before watching the menagerie, watch the cage. Then you have context. Granted, you'd be watching basically the same episode twice, minus the
The
original
subplot
series.
of Spock stealing the ship.
But it would be in full context. I mean,
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
say
probably
that makes
go
sense.
after Menagerie.
And End of Menagerie is a great reveal, too. Figuring out exactly what's going on here.
Menagerie is actually a really good pilot, all things considered.
yeah.
I actually think it's a better pilot than Where No Man Has Gone Before.
I fucking love my Star Trek stuff. Now, I have to admit, I always had a weakness as a kid for the Mud episodes because I love the crap they put him through.
Because he's funny.
And let's hear
Especially
good morning.
Mud and his wife. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Good morning, PCAT. Sorry I have not been able to get to you. Good morning, Professor Brady Specs.
Yeah, we
Anything-
already said that, Brainy Specs. What we were comparing is the difference between them and why they are, in some ways, the same episode, in some ways not.
Right.
Well, NB mentioned he actually would have liked the Menagerie as the original pilot more than the cage originally.
It's like, there's a difference.
The cage was the pilot. The menagerie was the.
Or, I'm sorry, he said he would have liked the Menagerie as a pilot better than Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yeah.
But, see, this is where it is. I can criticize things about every show. I've got a lot of criticism for Voyager using a fake native to make up fake native culture and claim it was actual culture for it. I've got issues with DS9 went too hard into the war, and there's things I don't like about the Prophets, but I love the show.
Mm-hmm.
I've got issues with some of TNG. I've made fun of some of them already today. There's not a show I think is perfect, ever. But they at least had the heart and soul right in them. And I wasn't a fan of Enterprise at all, but I can give you it at least feels like Trek compared to what we're getting today.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know many people who are actually that kind of fan that they don't think you do no wrong. I mean, for fuck's sakes, the original series had Spock's brain. One of the worst episodes of all time.
The Naked Time with Sulu running around with a fencing rapier.
I'm sorry. Those episodes that were bad, including Spock's brain.
Oh, Spock's brain is painful. Voyager, the fucking return of Cass is
brilliant.
Painful.
Those episodes look fucking brilliant compared to Generation 3 Trek. They at least have some thought behind them.
Well, yeah, and I think that's some of the problem with the modern stuff is because it's, yes, an ensemble is there, but it's really all about Burnham, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've got those fucking short tracks where they were going to turn tribbles into food by injecting human DNA. Hannibal Lecter called, you know?
Yeah,
The Klingons
those
picked
weren't
up.
Really, yeah. I don't think they really planned out those short checks very well. They just wanted teasers. And they just
that
took
was
the
so
first
bad.
ideas
That was
people.
so bad.
Like, here's the weird thing. Tilly's not a terrible character. She just doesn't belong on a Star Trek show.
Yes, she is. She's a horrible stereotype for what certain mental issues actually are.
Like, I know somebody who acts
Sorry.
exactly like that.
Most don't, though. It's a very over-the-top cliche.
Has anybody noticed she's gotten a much bigger role in the last few seasons?
I have not. I'm like 4 episodes deep into season 2 right now, and I'm really liking Anson Mount as Pike, though. I don't know what everybody else's take on it. We have limited Pike on film at this point.
There's
And-
not much.
You know, we've got the Menagerie in the Cage. We've got the JJ Trek. That's really all there's been for Pike on screen. I'm liking Anson Mount's Pike.
I like Pike, but I don't want them to make a show of it because I don't trust them not to fuck it up like everything else. And
King
Anson
Christ
Mounts-
is in the back room.
Anson Mounts is a good
Okay, now I got to
character
get back there.
actor. He's really good at what he does.
He was terrible in Halo.
Professor is back there as well. All right, Professor, and hello, Mr. Christ.
I'd say Hell on Wheels was a great show.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, everyone.
You know, it's funny. You're talking about like TOS and stuff, and I have the whole DVD collection. But the first thing I noticed with my DVD collection is none of the episodes are in order.
Nope. They're in production order, not
just-
chronological.
I'm just like baffled because like the pilot is like the 3rd or 4th episode in on the first disc.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
like,
been
what
noticing
the
that
hell?
with every Star Trek series.
Oh.
Is I found episodes in the wrong order on the discs, so I've actually just been looking up the release dates on them when I watch them.
On the discs, they are in airing order. They aired them out of order.
Not all of them.
Where No Man Has Gone Before was not the first episode aired on TV.
No,
Yeah.
that was Man Trap.
Man Trap, yes.
Well,
I've
that's
actually
silly.
noticed. I've actually noticed it's a problem with. Hey, Star Trek had that issue anyways where they were filming too many episodes at once and going back and forth. But I've noticed there's ones where it's not consistent. Because this one will be in airing date order, and this part here on the same series, and this disc will be in recording date order, and
I'm pretty sure they're in airing order on the discs.
not all
It depends
of them.
which.
I
set you
have
got.
every series, not all of them.
It
I was
really
gonna say
depends.
my
The
TNG
remastered
episodes seem to be in
ones
the
are
right
different
order.
than the
Right.
original DVD release.
It may also vary on which version of the discs you got, because most of them have several different versions they've done of the series.
I know the remastered Blu-rays have a different set than the DVD sets that I bought.
Yeah.
They just need to come out
they
with they need to come out with a Blu-ray of DS9 though. Something where I don't have to like select the menu every time I want to watch an episode.
I was
I'll
going to
try
say that Eastland Berg
Sorry.
on the sci-fi there, though, one of the ones that actually was consistent with airing in order more often and didn't have all the issues with the episodes being out of order on the disc was actually Andromeda.
I didn't really care for Andromeda. It was okay.
I like the first 2 seasons of Andromeda. Then it went really
It got
bad.
really weird in the last season, but
The last
But-
couple
Well,
seasons.
even seasons 3 and 4 were poor,
But-
in my opinion.
But there was actually specific things that was written on. If you actually know the backstory of the cultures and characters he was using, Andromeda was a Christian analogy because Weis is the original term for Christian before they were relabeled by Romans. So there was a lot of religious symbolism there that a lot of people didn't follow unless you've really studied the history of religions back in the old days. And so it was a little far. Yes, it was something that was originally created by Roddenberry. It was supposed to be part of the universe connected to Star Trek and stuff like that, but it was much more spiritual. It didn't fit with the other stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, he didn't have
And-
that much of a series outline per se. He had maybe
a
3
concept and
pages.
what he wanted and a couple
Yeah.
episodes designed, and Majel created it off of that. Yes. I actually like Andromeda.
Yeah, it's a good
Which
series.
I didn't want to watch it when I first heard about it because I hated the Hercules show and didn't think I was going to like Sorbo until it.
Oh, really? I loved Hercules.
I fucking hate when they take
Oh my
mythology
god, that
and they
was
don't
such
do
a
it.
fun show.
I can't stand when mythology is altered too much for shows and movies, so I'm really
Well,
finicky
I
on
never
that.
took it
Mythology
seriously.
was never
mythology,
consistent
but-
to begin with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. It's not.
Well, Hercules, they made it comical.
Can I
Yeah.
please finish what I was saying?
Sorry.
Please? Because I haven't finished it yet.
Sorry.
What I'm saying is I don't like when you take a mythology from a culture and you completely change what it is. You bastardize it, you add characters that weren't there and stuff. To me, I don't like that. Because
Okay.
I'm very, very into mythology and history. So I couldn't get into it on that level.
Well, I understand that. I do. I liked Hercules because it wasn't serious. Yeah, they used mythological characters, but it's like, oh, please, if how do I
It
say
was
this?
Sam Raimi for crying out loud.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going into a show that says right at the front, directed by Sam Raimi. So, yeah.
Well, let's think about
look
this.
at it
This
more as a
was
live-action He-Man.
well. This
Yes.
was
Oh, fuck.
there. You
That's
go.
perfect.
They had Tila fucking push Man at Arms out of the way to take the shot he somehow couldn't make so she could say Woman at Arms. One of the first real woke moments in a movie.
Oh, you're talking about the He-Man movie.
That's what they just commented on, yes.
No, I was talking about He-Man the series.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
the series
tragedy that Dolph Lundgren was in.
I don't know what that was, but that was not Masters of the Universe.
That was not enough money to make alien terrain budget.
That was not enough money that they almost didn't. They almost finished it before having the final scene.
I seem to remember this
I actually
conversation
learned that.
coming up yesterday.
Well, that's why the scene looks so dark and everything, because they ran out of money. So when they finally shot it, they had to shoot it so close and dark, so you couldn't tell that the production value was shit.
That's also why they placed it on Earth, was so that they had shooting locations they could just scout and go to instead of using sound stages and building alien sets.
Why not just go to, well, obviously I was about to say why didn't they just go somewhere, but let's be honest, they probably didn't have the money to go to a decent location that they could play as Eternia. Also, I don't remember Eternia being that desertly.
Okay,
Maybe
I
over
just
by
looked.
Castle
Anything
Grayskull,
but
but
drive.
Eternia was weird. It had a weird landscape for the cartoon.
I just
Yeah, it
looked at
was-
the season 1 set release of Star Trek: The Original Series on DVD as a set, and it's in airing order.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what my
saying that
Blu-rays
parts
are.
aren't. I'm saying not every series is consistently so all the way through on the different
Oh.
releases of the discs.
I know series after the original series are in airing order. They are definitely in airing order.
I found errors on my discs I've gotten.
And you gotta consider there's several different releases of both the original.
Now,
series
I'm
and
looking at
series
the
and all
official
others.
the official release of Star Trek: The Original Series Season 1 on DVD as a season. The very first one. It's in airing order.
Yeah, which edition though? They released it like 3
The
different times.
original release in
Okay.
2005.
The one that Rosetta has probably isn't the original release.
That's what I'm saying. They
Well,
did several
they-
releases
they-
and
they-
not all of them are consistent.
They
That's
would
what I'm
just
saying.
reprint the discs. They wouldn't go back in and change it.
Yeah. Yeah, they have
No.
actually rearranged things on several of the shows and changed how they did things on several of the releases.
That would be ridiculous. Actually, it was 2004. Excuse me.
Keep that information, and they probably just scrapped all that and worked from scratch to put out the next release when they decided to do that.
That would be a waste of money on their part. That's ridiculous. They just reprint the discs as is.
They
Printing discs is cheap.
That's not how. Yeah, that's not how.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they go in and change it? I think you need to look at your discs again.
Well,
I'm guessing
unless
they
they're
are
changing
in
for the
airing
remaster.
order. I'm guessing they are.
Remastered.
I could do a video. I can sit there and go out there and show where they're not because I actually had to look it up and change it and watch a couple out of order on the disc on a couple of them because they weren't in the right order. And it was actually, they referenced things in the next episode incorrectly because they weren't in order.
That's because they were produced out of order and aired out of order.
No.
Yeah,
I played them on air date.
Rosetta?
I played through it.
I don't want to.
They were aired out of order. So on the discs, they are in airing order.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I like you, but you're not listening, and you're just.
I'm hearing you, Rosetta.
No, you're really not. You're assuming I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I had to fix it to watch it on the disc version I got. And
well, then maybe you got a pirated version.
No, I didn't.
That is possible.
No, I didn't.
And Brainy, I think you're putting a little bit too much faith in them just reprinting it. That's not exactly how the disc production works. It's they send over a order to the factory of a list. They don't keep the list. They just sent it over, and it's up to probably an intern to do it in air order, production order, or whatever order they're going to decide.
I'm not saying that there haven't been errors done.
Was supposed to be the original
but this is the
release.
official release.
Let me make something clear.
Far too much credit.
Fuck's sake.
Hold on. Let's do this. Okay, let me make something clear. I understand that there are going to be different points of view, people who think different things. I understand. I appreciate that. I respect that. However, please, if I have to start assigning people to talk, I will. I would like to hear, first of all, I'd like to hear Professor Brady specs. And then I would like to hear Resolute Germ. Rosetta, I want to hear what you have to say as well. I've allowed you go to considerable amount of time, and I love to talk to you. I love to hear what you have to say, but I do want other input.
I never finished my response to him the first time. Everybody keeps answering it for me. One response from the beginning when he first started talking about this. I haven't finished yet.
Okay, finish it.
As I was trying to say, it's not the same on every release, and I can verify it to the discs. Literally, one of the ones I got from Best Buy, certified from the company, the order they listed on the back of the case and the order the disc is on isn't even the same. They put them in the wrong order on the disc from what they labeled it. And that's an official release.
And I have seen that as well. I will say that. I've seen discs that looked like they belonged in another pack. They just didn't look like the production company gave a shit how they came out. It just, let's pump it out. So, yes, that I will verify that. I've seen one where it'll be printed on the printout one way, it'll be on the disc another. So that is correct, and that's not only for Star Trek, that is other series as well, where they were printed in airing order, and they were put on the disc in production order. And
that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Every release does vary, and then there's issues and glitches within those.
Agreed.
And it's been pretty hard on a lot of my Star Trek discs for some reason.
Okay, now we've got somebody else to add to the mix. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Hello, world. It's Birdo Prey 5. Kapla.
Kapla.
Hail Imperious Leader.
So what
how did your
DVDs
appointment
were
go?
You guys talking about?
Don't forget about that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Doctor says, don't worry about how the appointment went. Not great. They're very upset that I can't get the antibiotic filled today, but it's Sunday. The pharmacy we use is closed, and none of the other pharmacies are picking up the phone. So, we'd rather just send it to the pharmacy we know will be able to deliver it tomorrow, rather than send it to one that, we're not sure if they'll be able to deliver it today or not. She's like, well, if you can just have somebody go pick it up for you.
Who? How?
I was like, no, that's the point. I can't leave the house. my mom can't leave the house. There's nobody else that can go pick it up for me. Oh, she's like, oh, sorry. I was like, it's okay. It just if we could get somebody to pick it up for me, I wouldn't have told you this was a problem to begin with.
Let's see
You
here.
guys still have a significant amount of snow on the ground.
Snow is stopped. It's a sunny day today. I mean, we got. I'll show you the. We won't keep it up all long, but for a minute or two, if you want to just see it. If you guys can
Always.
see how it's progressed. I just feel bad taking over the full screen.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't give Rosetta the screen real estate she deserves. Frankly, I think you do better with more Rosetta.
Yeah. I guess that's not too bad for your area.
Yeah, it's not bad. The salt really cut it through on the sidewalk and the driveway. A nice and sunny day, even though it's not supposed to get much above freezing. The sun should help.
And okay. I wasn't a question I would expect from you, Eastland. That sounds more like a Professor Brady Specs question, but is Bird a replicant? Did the doctor figure out that Bird is a replicant?
She kept asking me these questions about turtles in the desert and stuff. I was a little suspicious.
I've seen his eyes shine on camera before.
Eastland says, yes, Bird, I hate explaining the front part of the sentence or conversation to the other party. Eastland says, we had some snow and it's gone, and it's fun to see your snow. Oh, thank you, Eastland. If I showed you the backyard picture, it'd look like a totally different. It's just all snow as far as the eye can see. Because nobody shoveled the backyard.
Hello, Mr. Londell.
That was a quick in and out.
And goodbye, Mr. Londell.
Yeah, that was.
Hello, Mr.
Hello
Londell.
again. Mr. Londell.
Hello.
Hello again.
How you doing, Lundell?
Okay, I guess.
And for those of you who are just joining, yes, I had a rant this morning. Go back and watch it if you wish.
Is that at the beginning of the stream?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pretty
Well,
close,
actually,
yeah.
no. It was about an hour ago.
It was the
I
middle.
missed it then.
Yeah,
Middle.
two different rants. The second
No, the
one,
special
the
announcement
version.
was at the beginning of the show.
Oh, what's the special announcement?
Okay, let me start off with this. I'll start over again.
I'm sorry.
First of all-
I gotta say, he's going through with the surgery. He's going to become Mrs. Captain Track.
Wow.
Isn't that still
Right.
just a captain?
Right after Mrs. Burrow Prey comes out of surgery. So we have Josephina O'Prey. Trust me, I can come up with these a little quickly when I've had some coffee.
Go get you a
You
fresh
see,
cup of
you
Joe.
had your coffee or two. I haven't
Or
even had
three.
breakfast yet.
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
I'm sorry, Captain. I did cut you off. You were going to explain something.
Yes. And part of the part of the interruption in the conversation before happened earlier, and that's part of what the rant is about. Number one, I am going to take more control. There have been times that I've allowed conversations that have gone on a little too long, and arguments that have gone on with it that I think should not have. And that does not have to do with today's show. It has to do with other previous shows. Number two, I am not going to be bitching about the numbers anymore because I don't give a shit. Now, I am interested in having more people here. Yes, that would be nice. It would be wonderful. People have said, hey, you should be monetized. Hey, you should be doing this. Well, yeah, okay, fine. And then I'm going to say, when somebody says you should be monetized, okay, I have a buy me a coffee link in there every time. I have a PayPal listing. If you're that damn interested in supporting the channel, give that. If you're thinking I should be monetized, I should have 1,000 subscribers, are you recommending my videos? Are you sending it out on Twitter? Are you sending it out on whatever? Because if you're not, how am I going to get more people to watch?
Good point, sir.
So, and then I had somebody, and I'll drop names. Okay, this time I will. I had PJ sent me a private message asking me if I was referring to him, and no, I wasn't, because I know he's tweeted it out. I know he's recommended it to people. I know he's pushed my channel on his own streams.
Yeah, he pushes everybody's stuff on his streams.
Yeah, he does.
So, absolutely was not referring to PJ. Orville Nation has been a very supportive part in our community. Not for just his stuff, but for all of our channels. And every time he's on, he will say, number one, you have a wrench. Put your channel in. And he wants you to actually do it. So I am going to say this. One of the bigger channels, and he's not a big channel yet, but he's one of the bigger channels that's actually supporting the entire community. He wants us to get our content out. And if it's posting it on his live stream, go for it. He's awesome. But there are others that's like, oh, well, you should be doing this. Well, you know what? Yeah, help if you're going to. Well, you should make some more edited videos. I finally had somebody who JP's actually made a recommendation based on the rant I made in the video to make that a separate video. Which means I have to download the whole damn thing and edit it. But hey, by the way, how do I edit just a segment of the video instead of downloading the whole damn thing? That's what I want to know.
I don't think you can.
I know there are websites you can go to that do that, I think. Because I don't know how Thomas does it. He'll do it while the stream is live and then cut it.
Well, there are programs where you can actually literally clip something off of what's on your screen and then edit from there. And I know, for frick's sake, Perth Comics, I went on Anthony's stream Monday night. Tuesday morning, he released a video spoofing me with clips throughout that stream, mixed with artwork he did for it. Tuesday morning.
I like that. Okay.
So, some people are really good at doing it quickly.
Yes, but is that always the best?
That video is fucking hilarious. And it
That's
insults
not
me
what
like hell, and I still find it hilarious.
That's not what I'm talking about, Rosetta.
I know,
You know
but
what
I'm
I mean.
ignoring that conversation because I'm actually trying to be good. Plus, the video calls me a call girl.
And we know that you're not, so that's the funny part.
Captain, I'm going to share something on sharing a screen here. I want somebody to tell me what this is because I have no idea. I'm looking at this is a model convention back in 2018, Wonderfest, and this is the coolest pod I've ever seen, but I don't know what it's from.
I've seen that somewhere before. I can't recall
That
where.
looks really familiar.
I know I should know what that is.
It's something underwater. I don't know what, but
It's not
That,
Sequest, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
Or that
No idea.
Quest?
This isn't underwater. Those
Adaptation?
thrusters on the outside aren't watertight or anything like this. Is space.
Yeah, that's
Really?
a space pod of some sort. Yeah, it looks like a landing vehicle of sorts.
I know I should know what it is. It's just not.
I like that Imperial Star Destroyer behind it too.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that's from.
But look at it.
Is
Look at
that
the
from?
interior.
Is that from 2001?
No.
No, that's
No?
not the 2001.
Wait a minute. Back it
pod.
up like 2 seconds.
The pod from 2001 had grappling arm on it.
Right there on the right-hand side, you can see a grouping of flags.
Yep.
And Japan, United States, China, United Nations. Looks like Russia, and I'm not sure what the top right one is.
Likely Chinese.
Is this Independence Day 2?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
I
never
haven't
watched
seen
that
it either.
movie.
The only
I haven't.
fear I remember from that was the alien AI, and that won't be this.
And I've got no help in the chat either, or in the comments, because people are asking what it is. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, they've got the Discovery in here from. Oh, there's your Star Destroyer.
Sweet.
Nice.
Oh,
Oops. Let's back it up a bit. Yeah, they got a lot of ships in this.
okay. We got to stop showing that.
Why?
It's gonna.
I don't want to.
Gonna hit you. Gotcha.
They could.
I don't know why. Is that from a production?
It's gorgeous.
Sort of. I mean, is it?
Anyone can hit anyone for having
Yeah.
5 seconds of your video.
Over there.
YouTube isn't really precise on the rules, so if you make a claim, you can make a claim for a still shot, and YouTube is 50-50 on if they'll do anything about it or not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, YouTube, their own rules suck.
Yeah, they certainly do.
And now I found the Discovery. Damn it.
Go for it. Show that.
All right.
Boy, those EVA suits inside kind of look like the ones from Lost in Space, but there's no vehicle like that in Lost in Space.
Could it have been in the movie remake?
Oh, no.
I saw this
that's-
at first. I thought Spaceball 1. And then as it goes out, I'm like, no, that's not Spaceball 1. Oh, now I know what that is.
Yeah.
As soon as you see the antenna array, man, you know what it is.
Yeah, you sure do.
Oh, dear Lord, that is fun.
That is very cool.
That is sweet.
Like that he made a diorama out of it too, with like little pods launching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff in that shot. Nebula B, there's all sorts of stuff in here. There's the flying saucer from Babylon 5. I thought that was kind of interesting. Fully lighting, and it's got the rotating lights on it. And I can identify most of the ships in this, but it's got the Starbase shuttlecraft from Star Trek 3, 4, and 5. It's the Millennium Falcon, which is huge. Yeah, it's some neat stuff in this. I like looking at these videos.
I like forging shows and watching people make swords and weapons, and then test them.
Fortune Fire was my jam for a while.
I love Forged in Fire. I love Markaida. I liked, if you guys ever saw it, Big Giant Swords, especially when he made the dragon sword with actually had the flamethrower built into the blade.
I'd use it.
and the guy who did that still does all those massive builds and stuff on his channel. He's done like the Sword of Kalis and stuff like that. Fucking gorgeous work on him.
Michael Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm. Irish Mike. Uh-huh. He's one of my favorites. He's fucking badass. That's the stuff I love, because I love collecting weapons and studying how to use them.
I'd love to see you with a bat'leth. Oh, that's all I'll say.
Ooh. I'm good with this idea.
There are just a few people I'd like to see bat'leth used on. But those will remain nameless.
No, here's what I gotta show you guys. You'll like this.
Bold of you to assume, sir.
Oh no, you'll like it.
Oh shit!
Very nice.
All right, you delivered.
Yeah. Right. Like, there's no like bottom to it, but this is Wonderfest 2019.
The USS Potemkin.
We'll just run through the. Oh, what's this?
I believe that is a Titan variant.
Endurance. No, it's not.
Next Gen Voyager variant.
It's not a Luna class. Well, it could be. It's called the USS Endurance. I can see it on the base.
I can look that up really quick.
I used to fly around in the Luna class in Star Trek Online.
I like the look of that ship.
It is cool.
Oh, it's a Sovereign variant from the Star Trek Online game. And I believe there's a book. There's a novel, too.
Oh, that's cool. You see that? The rotating lights in the nacelles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's pretty baller.
For all the crap I gave to Lower Decks, I would prefer more.
Your audio's getting choppy. Cap.
Good. I thought it was me.
Very choppy, Cap. Oh, he
Saber.
disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, there's they got a full size space pod too. Smaller Star Destroyer, not like that other one. A lot of smaller ships in this one.
Yeah, I'm seeing a B-wing and an AT-AT back there, and
Yeah.
Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, that's what that's from.
That's the sub from Fantastic Voyage.
Ah, now I'm thinking about my Raquel Welch poster. Yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, she's 80.
Jupiter 2.
And still looks fantastic.
I love it when they get interiors, man. When they get interiors, that's it. It's just that blows my modeling skills away. Look at that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's cool.
That's just holy shit. You know. I don't know what else we got down here. Elite ship scale. No. I didn't go there. Wonderfest 2014. So we go back in time. Well, what is this? Oh, the Soyuz?
Whoa.
That is huge. Let's go back a little bit.
That is ugly.
Well, it is an ugly ship. But considering...
Oh, it's meant to be a slugger. Okay.
I don't know. I've always liked the movie era aesthetic.
Yeah. Shit, Stargate. They just keep going. We'll just stop that for a second.
That's Moya, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty good size, too.
What is that?
Runabout.
Mm-hmm.
Runabout, yeah. Which was on a question of Trek yesterday.
What was the question?
Well, it was a Kubert-ized image of a runabout, and you had to figure out that it was a runabout.
Oh, okay.
And that's from the original Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
And no, 47 Yorktown. No. Hell no.
Oh.
Is that the Sulaco?
Well, I guess somebody called it the Ripley. But no, it's not a... Well, it could be. I guess it could be. Just it's a lot brighter. The Sulaco was pretty dark and drab looking.
47 Yorktown, we'll let you wear the dresses. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might I point out there is one woman here at least.
If you make it a kilt, I'm down.
Wait, where'd it go?
Kapla.
Where'd it go? I want to see the front end. There it is. Hell yeah.
Well,
I wasn't
whatever-
going to speak for you, Rosetta.
No, I can wear dresses in that
Damn it.
on occasion.
What occasions?
Oh, shit. Let's just play it. Have a nice day. There we go. I just wanted
On
to get a good look
occasions,
at that.
usually ones involving my husband.
Okay.
I figured. Oh, a Viper?
I know. I just
Cylon?
what is that? Are you kidding
is-
me?
That's hilarious.
That is funny, but
That's ridiculous.
we better not show that. We definitely cause some problems maybe with certain.
Yeah, that's true.
oh,
that is
yeah.
awesome.
I like that. I wonder how-
Vincent.
Is that?
Yep.
Is that standing
Black
on
hole.
the floor?
No, it's on
Oh.
the stand.
No, I mean, yeah, but is it on the floor?
Oh, I think it's life size. Yeah.
It's big
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome to have.
That is beautiful.
Oh. Here I was looking at the bridge. You know, he comes up with Vincent. I must have my feed must be off with the tracking because that does happen once in a while on YouTube.
I know that movie gets a lot of flack, but it's always been a guilty pleasure for me.
I'm done sharing. I'm done like demonetizing Captain Trek here or whatever we're gonna call it. It's not demonetizing. It's something else. Yes, yeah, that's it.
Somebody released. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Who the hell has an issue with the movie Black Hole?
A lot of people do.
There's some like the ratings were bad on it and stuff, but I liked the movie. I grew up with it. It was a good movie.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said it's the has the worst science of any movie ever.
Well, we didn't know jack about black holes when that movie came out.
Yeah.
We didn't know jack about Jack.
No.
We had artist renderings of Saturn still. You know?
Yeah. So any criticism of a movie like that is
Yeah.
superfluous.
Well,
Let's look
I
at
mean,
one thing here.
example.
One thing. Okay.
You want to
Okay.
slam 50
Go
sci-fi
ahead,
because
Rosetta.
it's not accurate? Come on.
I was gonna say, if you want to criticize for not accurate, I mean, come on, an actual scientist who is a writer, Paul French, otherwise known as Isaac Asimov, and yet how much bullshit is in his books with the science we now know and the things we've learned about planets since then.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Well,
Okay, Professor.
here's one of the criticisms from him, and I think it's completely valid. They're breathing out in a vacuum when they're trying to get to the probe ship toward the end of the film.
Yeah, because it is outside. They depict a lot of the ships as outside. You know, even the Palomino. Until you actually see that there's a hatch and a walkway, you're wondering how they get from the Palomino to the Cygnus because you don't really see it, and they don't really give a good showing of it.
Actually,
But I think
you can criticize that in Spaceballs too, because when she's shooting the guys acting like Rambo, and when they're getting in and out of the dock, they're walking in outer space without helmets.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, that's a comedy, so.
but you still want to try to some spirit. I mean, we can criticize, and serious or comedy, there's things we can always criticize on everything. I just try to look at enjoyment level, as long as it's enjoyable.
The biggest reasons that Black Hole though was considered not a great movie is mostly because of metrics, advertising. I think they were trying to make a series out of it originally, and it didn't fly, so they just went with a movie.
Well, it didn't help that it started filming well before Star Wars and Alien and ended up releasing after it.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So it had a lot of things going against it, and then the critics kind of lambasted it back then too. But they were lambasting just about every sci-fi movie.
They still do. Go check the ratings sometime. Sci-fi and superhero movies always get hit lower in ratings on websites and rating sites than anything else, no matter how good they are. That's just realistic with knowing the culture.
I haven't trusted critics in Siskel and Ebert and Leonard Maltin.
I didn't trust them.
No, I would say I didn't trust them either.
And I'm saying that's where I learned the lesson to not trust them.
Yeah.
Well, they did give good ratings for Star Trek. This is Siskel and Ebert. Star Trek 2, Star Trek 6, Star Trek 4.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
As an average, there's always some that get good ratings here and there, but as an average, sci-fi tends to be panned lower. Tens. I try not to speak of absolutes because there's always exceptions.
Yeah, but didn't they give pretty decent marks to Alien as well?
That one I don't know if they did or not.
I don't know either. But I got to go to work, so I'll talk to you guys later. I just thought I'd hop on for a bit.
Okay, Tim. Take care.
Take care, Tim.
Have a good day, Tim.
See you, Tim.
I am not finding another image reference for that pod.
I don't know what that's from.
I've been looking all over for it, and I have not found even another image that's the same.
Yeah. Oh, so that may have been somebody's mashup.
Could be.
Three, 6, 8, 10.
What?
D.D. Myers, what's up?
Good day, D.D. Myers. I'm still trying to wake up. Oh, bless you.
Oh, whoa.
Bless you.
Couldn't make it to the mute button.
We're getting some serious high-pitched whistle going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
whoever's making that noise, mute. I can't even hear. Shit. Okay, I had to take my headset off. What the fuck was that?
I think it's from his sneeze.
Yeah, I
He
think
muted. It's gone.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Is it still there?
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
you
Yeah,
cut
it's
out.
still there.
Okay,
It's still there.
let me refresh.
Oh, thank God. Sorry about that.
And it sounds like he pulled the mic cord a little bit.
Yeah, it could be.
Let's try this again.
Better?
Much
Yep.
better.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is.
I don't know what the hell that is. But if I refresh
offensive.
StreamYards, it goes away.
I'm sorry you have a migraine, Eastland.
What video was that you were looking at? Maybe I can put a still on the frame and maybe like get a registry number on it or something.
Yeah, put the link to that in private chat. That way he can.
This
a
is
good
a mystery
idea.
that's confounded me now, so I'm going to go hunt this down.
Yeah, I'm really interested in knowing what that's from.
It looked like it was more than just like a little pod, because there were like bunks in the background. It almost looked like a little self-contained ship.
The good discovery. Is there a good discovery?
Well, Anti-Jugger was coming up with an alternate discovery, and he kind of stopped. And I got on him the other night. He said he was going to resume some different projects, and I asked him about that one. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to get back to that one." I said, "When? 2035?" And he called me a jerk.
Look, we're
You're
still
both
waiting.
right.
We're still waiting on his Borg stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And
But
then he was supposed to do Stargate, and I mean, yeah, gee, my nigga, I mean, just start a channel and do some Stargate stuff or some Borg stuff. I mean, just leave him standing there, you know. Then of course, if you do that, then he'll want to get in and do some Stargate or some Borg stuff. Yeah.
Well, not only that, I think it's more important he finishes out the Hulk. And did he ever even get to that Barbie movie? He took
that's
money for
coming
both
up.
of
I
those.
think it's the next Thursday night movie he's doing after the Sharknado films.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
those are popcorn turn your brain off movies.
Granted,
Those are stupid movies.
I want to say this. This is not the Knock Andy Trucker channel. When the hell is that Sharknado shit going to be over with?
They
I
made
think
6
they
of
have.
them.
Oh dear
I
God!
thought there were 7. Maybe I'm wrong.
There might be. I know I watched 5 of them.
I know he has 1 or 2 yet to go.
I refuse to watch even one of them. I've never watched the Sharknado movie. Just the
Well,
entire concept is offensive to me. You know,
it's
and
it's kind of
I've watched
it's
some
kind of
crazy sci-fi movies. I've
Okay.
got
it's
some
kind of
crazy ones on my channel.
Okay, Professor, speak, please.
it's fun watching Life with Matthew and Anti Trucker rip them apart. So, and you're right, there were 6 in the series.
I don't know. Watching somebody watch something that I don't want to watch just has no appeal to me.
Well, it's kind of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 type thing, which I find hysterical.
Oh, I love that. Don't get me wrong.
Especially if they're ripping it apart like they do on MST3K.
See, I've not even bothered to watch what they do because, like I said, the movies have no interest. I don't know if they actually do rip it apart. I don't know how they rip it apart. I don't know if it's funny or not.
Yeah, they riff on it.
Mystery Science Theater is, to me, one of the most overrated things they've ever produced.
The problem was it got to be too much. When it first started, it was one thing, and then they made it bigger, and they tried to make it better, and then as it went along, it kind of got worse because it was easier to do when you had the bad movies. But that's just my opinion of it.
In my opinion, that's the only way to watch those bad films.
See, I liked the what was it? There was that one Christmas Santa Claus movie. What the hell was
Santa
it?
Conquers the Martians.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
I loved watching that on MST3K because it was. Oh, and I actually tried watching a movie, and it's like, oh my god, really? This, no, but and
Damn it, I keep getting 2001 references and Dragon Ball Z references.
Well, that was my initial thought was 2001, but it
No.
clearly is not that.
Yeah, 2001 has like the central oval window, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Dragon Ball either.
Oh, no.
It's not even that bad live action Dragon Ball.
Uh-huh.
We don't speak about that. Man of Steel is the only live action Dragon Ball Z movie that has been released.
oh, what? Let's see here. Yeah, thank you, Ryan Johnson. I appreciate that input. So let's see here.
I'm wondering more and more if that wasn't somebody's original design.
That's what it ultimately looks like.
I mean, I've gone through multiple search parameters here, and woof.
Because if you look at it, it looks like almost like a survival pod. Then like the ones in 2001, those were actual working. You use those to perform actual work.
Yeah, kind of like the bees in Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, and see that one, it just looks like it's designed to get you away from something that's about to blow up, and and you just kind of survive in it till somebody picks you up.
Let me see. I have that. There we go. Go back. That. Oh, that's a good question, Eastland Burkholder. Blade Runner game playthrough. Just popped into my recommendations. Was it bad? Good? So, what about the movie yesterday? That just reminded me of the movie. How was the movie? Because I didn't even try to watch.
Well, it kind of broke down between those who liked the movie and those who didn't. I mean, uh, Blade Runner, it's turned into an acquired taste as far as movies go. And just face it, too many of you guys are into bang bang, pew pew, bright lights, and loud
Bullshit.
symphonic music when it comes to sci-fi. And Blade Runner's not any of that. It, it
To be
it's
fair,
Go
it's
ahead.
kind of one of those you got to think about this shit movies.
I prefer the intellectual, but I am a symphonic music girl.
Yeah.
Which,
The,
by the way, if you get the true stuff that's not the mainstream, that stuff's intellectual too. But, but yeah, I get the whole argument against the bright light culture because that's where I get. For fuck's sake, yeah, I disappear off camera because a noise sets off my headaches. That should give you a clue since I'm also light sensitive. I prefer intellectual over effects.
I do too.
Oh, Lord.
But if it has both, that's a win for everyone.
Depends on the effects. There's a lot of stuff I can't watch or interact with.
Oh. Your audio's going wonky again, Cap.
yeah, Eastland, that's correct. He should have um, shown the theatrical release instead of one of the director's cuts. He would have probably understood it more with the narration.
Which cut did he show?
Supposedly the final cut. I didn't see any difference between it and the director's cut that came out in the 90s.
Oh, there wasn't a lot. I think it's
No,
less than 3 minutes, 5 minutes of changes.
the only thing I saw was they added to the scene where Deckard and what's her name kiss. That's all. I
I
mean,
forget
and
which
even
which one of those did they add the unicorn into?
uh, it was in the director's cut,
Okay.
and it was in this one, this final cut as well.
Yeah, I know that wasn't in the original. I just didn't know when they put it in. I
And
really can't remember the difference between the first director's cut and the final cut.
there's no difference. It's like you said. It's maybe I don't even put it at 3 minutes. You know, the unicorn dream sequence was just a tad different, and it was after they're in when they're in Deckard's apartment after she kills Leon. And that scene where they kiss. It looks more convincing with maybe it's like a few seconds, a minute and a half so of extra footage, and that's it. It ends the same way the cut that was released in the '90s ends. You know, which that kind of pissed Jedi Bill off because he's used to them driving off into the sunset, and that it's a happier ending.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw any. It had to be years ago, at least 5 years or more since I've seen any version of that movie.
Yeah, I'm still like, and this tells you how that Deckard is. This tells you Deckard is a replicant. How exactly does it do that?
The major argument I hear about that is the eyes in the interrogation scene. That's the only real tangible argument I've ever really heard about it.
Well,
That
his eyes.
his eyes has that same gleam to it at one point that replicant's supposed to have.
Uh, it's not a gleam. I mean, well, I don't know. The void comp is supposed to be about emotional responses. And as a human, regardless of how many questions you're bombarded with, you will have an emotional response. The replicants, it's limited because they're only 3, 4, 5 years old, so they don't have that build up. They don't have those responses. True, Eastland. He would have. I think he. That's the version he should have played since he had never seen the movie.
Yeah, Ethan, I know that's what a lot of people say, but I don't know. According to the director, it was intentional. But he probably was just pulling out of his ass because
Yeah, get people
he's
to
the
buy
main
these
promote.
books.
Yeah, he's the main proponent of that whole Deckard is a replicant thing.
See, but that makes no sense because there should be no replicants on Earth in this movie. 2049, yeah, they're on Earth. The damn Blade Runner in 2049 is a replicant, and we know that from the start of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the first thing we see him do is take a void comp test.
Yeah, and Deckard being a replicant pretty much invalidates the 2049.
All right. So, what is on the menu for today, Bird? Assuming I'm coming through.
Yeah, we can
You
hear
are. Sorry, I just had the screen muted. Well, we've got Futurama coming up this afternoon. Bender's Game, and there's a slight chance I'll get a video out. If not before Futurama, maybe after Futurama. But I'd say it's 50-50 right now.
Well, let's see here. I can
Oh,
guarantee you there's 100% chance I will not be having a video out anytime soon. Unless somebody clips this shit. No. And Resolute Germ, are you still on for tonight after Bird's stream?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's episode 7 of season 1 we're doing today.
Of course, I missed most of last week because my internet decided to be a pain in the butt. That's what happens when you have a winter storm. So hopefully this week I'll be able to stay longer. Preferably the whole.
Yeah, hopefully.
Down there in Texas.
You're roboting again, Captain.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care, Cap.